filler versus Team Pregame. You know, the
Clairvoyance
match everyone
doesn't
was
exist
waiting
anymore.
for.
I
It
have
does
an
not.
issue, actually. Clairvoyance does not exist anymore.
It does not.
I have to re-roll, actually.
I was made
Right?
for this.
Because if Clairvoyance doesn't exist, do I just take, like,
Yes, generally.
Clarity? Or do I re-roll?
You could take Clarity. It's up to you, really.
Okay, I re-rolled. Oh, wait. I didn't change champs. Oh, rip.
Okay, so to give a little bit of an introduction, the match that we're doing here is a 4v4 ARAM Ultimate Bravery match. With the casters, the two of us, myself and Zeta, are both actually going to be playing and casting the game at the same time. So this should be very, very interesting. I'm interested to see how this will go.
It's sure to be a little bit of what people nowadays call the Korean situation, where you have no idea what's going to happen, but at least there is some extremely hype shouting going on, and they're talking about pentakills in English or Korean alternating, you know, so it's going to happen. It might not be Korean, it might be Swedish, but we'll see.
Yeah, we may try to lean a little bit more towards English here. I did not have time to redo my
English.
masteries.
I didn't
So
either.
I
I'm
did not
not
fully
really
obey the
sure.
Ultimate Bravery, but I'm most of the way there.
We will let them know that because there was no clairvoyance, we had to reroll. So that, in case they ask, this is certified boosted flamer Shaco. It's called flamer, so obviously.
Perfect. Mine is cheater Zach. So
Also,
this
there's
should
no
be good.
booting chance anymore in the game.
There are not. So
So,
you
Ultimate
skip
Bravery's
those.
what season behind?
Maybe even more than that, because I think the old summoners were removed even longer
I think
ago.
clairvoyance was still around in early season 5.
That's possible.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll say clairvoyance was probably removed sometime in mid season 5.
Sure.
But again, clairvoyance is, you know, one of those spells where you take it for granted, you know, being able to ward anywhere, and then they put that on a blue trinket ward, and you can kill it. So they just kind of made the spell into another one of those trinket upgrades, which is something they do kind of often. You know, they made oracles non-existent in Teemo OP again.
Of course, of course. The most legitimate strategy. I just lost to a Teemo jungle the other day. That felt pretty bad, I'll be honest.
It's some places. I've seen it occasionally in Plat. Because people are like, oh, you know, there's a Master Teemo jungle. That's the key, man. I wasn't playing Teemo. I wasn't being Cancer enough. And then it turns out it wasn't the Teemo jungle. It was in them the entire time. Do we have to start boots? Yeah, is that how that works?
Yes, generally.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so as we get into the match real quick, to remind everybody who doesn't know what Ultimate Bravery is, Ultimate Bravery is a system where we start memeing really, really hard and then see which team comes out on top. Now remember, this is Battle of the Atlantic, of course. So the narrative we're stringing along right now is that Riot totally doesn't script the LCS. And so we're going to see if we can manage to make that a little bit more useful. His abilities have changed. Okay, at least it says the name. Shaco's abilities have changed icons, for those of you who don't remember the visual update for him. So, he, on Ultimate Bravery, has the old icons, so I had no idea what I was supposed to max. But apparently, it's the shifts. So we're just going to stab some kids.
Of course,
This is some pretty good trading, though, as Zier is dropping quite low. Salty Reese got to be very careful, of course, with that LeBlanc threat on the other side, but not much mana to play with as of right now. We'll see if the Shaco can make anything happen. The clarity, it's coming out, and the jump just misses. A Lamau taking chunks away from the Zac as he splits off into those little bloblets.
Yeah, so far not looking very good for the blue team, and that's actually a first blood going over... well, actually, to the side of blue. We are on red.
We're on both sides, actually. It doesn't really matter. From our perspective, it's going to be your red side. So we'll call it red from here. And Yeah, that is just the power of this Azir and Illinois early game. You just can't really deal with it in some circumstances because the tentacles percent health plus a heal. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely a lot of damage there. Ooh, Turmeric bot going in for an engage, trying to get
And that's
whatever
the
he can done.
backstab, though. We finish it off. Shaco. Oh, and the Zac jump to follow up. We're going to blow up many, many people. Companion to be. He is living by the skin of his teeth. He will actually get out of that one. I'm quite surprised about that, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. We pick up 2 kills on the exchange, and the ammo is looking extremely low, though, so if he goes anywhere near that Orianna, surely Spoonit's going to pick up the kill. Just as I say that, though, Spoonit's the one that's going to go down. Zac passive has been popped, and Slytherin has dragged in the Shaco clone. Those tentacles are going to start spawning everywhere. Zac falls, and the flash is not enough. Oh, Slytherin with another kill. Azir, salty as he may be, is putting out the hurt, and this train has no brakes right now.
Yeah, really feeling like an unstoppable snowball for the blue team so far. I've just realized that I can no longer buy Will of the Ancients because they removed it from the game.
Do you not use relative team colors?
I do not.
Okay, that's where the disconnect was, because I was like, I swear we're actually blue team, and I remember they actually recolor things. So that is your blue viewers, my bad. But yeah, they did remove Will of the Ancients, so but do you have that in your build?
I do, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go for Protobelt. You know, that's a good.
Buy
That's
Protobelt.
an even
Protobelt's,
trade-off.
you know, it's a dank meme, and it's sponsored by Riot Games. So you know what? I'm gonna say it's good enough. Protobelt is one of those items where it's just too good not to use. You know? Oh, and that's a Zac jump that we wanted. Allies going down left, right, center. Blaster Boy trying desperately to stay out of the Orianna. I think Doomrick's actually disconnected. Spoon is tanking the turret up though. Very dangerous play from him. We're going to see if he's going to pay for it. It almost pays for it, in fact. And
So close.
it's just a really close, really back and forth game right now. 6 kills to 5. You couldn't really ask for much more out of these two teams. Shaco, he's pursuing with the Ghost. He is getting slowed, actually, and he will explode the Master Yi on contact. Amo picking up one as well. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, never mind. So I died anyway,
Unlucky.
because Alawi tentacles last longer than you always think they would. And Reese trades his body in for science, donating some of his gold to the red team in order to fund their research efforts into why exactly Azir can't just order from McDonald's and he has to give the orders instead.
Yeah, I mean, he's an emperor. You'd think he'd be past that type of work, but apparently not.
Yeah, I mean, usually emperors have people to give their people orders. You know, they've got sort of this like tiered hierarchy thing. Nobody can really get to them at the top. They're just, you know, lounging around in a palace waiting to get stabbed by their best friend. But, you know, some people are hands-on. I like that style of management. Could be a little bit more interesting. Reese, oh, Blaster Boy did not watch out for that one. Reese picks up another kill. He's actually, that was his first kill. So I say another one, but another kill for the blue team. In fact, that's their 8th on the game. They are just 1 kill actually separated back from the red side and could be even farther behind now. He is going to put out the damage and try to run away, desperately fighting for his life. Going down to the turret shot though, trading 1 for 1. Shaco picks up the Alawi on the backside of that fight. Spoon almost in danger. He dodges that Zac jump.
Yeah, very close to a successful engage there. Taking a look at some of the items that we have, you know, the very usual Sunfire is Azir. You know, that's a very common build, especially in Korean Challenger play. It's surfacing quite a lot now, you know?
Yeah, you do see that Sunfire being built from time to time. I think that the triple Kindle Gem actually on the side of red team is something to watch out for, because when you have 3 Kindle Gems, I mean, that's just so much cooldown reduction that we can fire puns off like a machine gun. Like, right about now, we'd be worried that, you know, oh, we're running out of the damage. No, we've actually got tons of it, and puns of it, in fact. We'll see if Spoon it goes down. He will. The clone putting out the massive amounts of damage, but it also gives Alawi another springboard to launch her attack from, or at least I thought it would, but apparently it doesn't even count for a ghost. Who knew? I didn't.
Yeah, unfortunate for the red team to be down a player here, though. It will hurt their chances quite a lot. The Kindle Gems will help. You know, it'll basically make up for a player by having so much CDR on everyone else that's still playing the game.
Yeah,
that's the idea, at least. Sometimes it's unsuccessful, though.
The problem with the Kindle Gem, though, is as you can see right now, we are running out of mana very, very quickly. Zach, in fact, has been completely out of mana nearly the entire game. I don't think he's even suffered when we use the double clarity. It's not helping him out. So, actually, we have quadruple clarity on this team, in fact. And yet another kill, 14 to 11. You wouldn't know that this team was down a player by the way that they're playing.
Yeah, definitely agreed there. Red team is really able to compensate for being down a player here, or who knows? Maybe they just rolled a little bit better on their ultimate bravery builds. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. There's the clarity again. That's the second clarity cast in the last 30 seconds or so, and Zach's mana has still not gone up.
It's very worrying. I mean, usually you see like the Meki Pendant, sometimes just even like a Chalice to help out Zach's mana issues, like Katarina as well. You know, she just needs so much help trying to get that mana back, but sometimes it's still not enough. So we will see if this Shaco clone can fool them for long enough to put the damage out. It looks like that is the case, and Alawi will die to the Shaco backstab. Spoon It, though, is just a distraction. The rest of his team is going completely and utterly ham on the red side. And there we go, Blaster Boy turning it around. Companion, the last one left alive. He's fighting 1 versus 3. Can he make this happen? He's killed the box. He's killed the Shaco clone. He doesn't kill the Shaco, though. And LeBlanc finishes it off. The Ammo saving Shaco's bacon.
Yeah, really, really close fight there in the end. Yi almost pulled through. Very typical. See, actually a decent item for actual Phantom Dancer picked up as the first item for this Yi here, so that's something that's seen pretty often.
Actually, he picked up a... oh, that was a Phantom Dancer. I'm completely thinking of Infinity Edge. I don't know why. But it is not an Infinity Edge. Can confirm. I saw it on Saint's stream one time. And the Orianna ultimate actually misses. That was so close. Spoon activating it just a hair too late as Reese had to turn away from the immense Shaco damage coming at him. That is a big ultimate, though. We thought that there was going to be a little more turn from the blue side, but Alawi just isn't tanky enough to tank up the turret and all of these champions right now. She's getting exploded by the jump in and by the pure damage. Look at how much Zach damage is being brought to the table right now. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely agree. The Zach is just jumping all over the place, and now the red team, while still in the lead in a 4v5, will regain their 3v4 rather.
We had to donate our coaches to the actual squads of Phoenix 1 and Envy because they asked us for a little bit of the tips and tricks, you know, how good we are, how much we actually got to the Battle of the Atlantic this year, seeing as they weren't even holding one. It was a secret tournament. All you had to do was go to the break room and ask for Jim. So remember that for next year. Oh, Slytherin, he's got the VM, he's got the moves, but he doesn't actually have a kill lead yet. 22 to 13. This is a significant gap opened up by the red squad.
Of course, I've made a mistake. I almost forgot my core item, the Manamune. Very, very common on Zac, very powerful on the champion. I nearly forgot from the Ultimate Bravery build.
As much as I'd like to say that the Proto Belt's a complete meme, it actually looks like it's doing a massive amount of damage every time you jump in and then just pop the Rocket Squad. So it could be really beneficial that we got one of those, because Master Yi looks like he is going into a Frozen Heart as his second item of the day. And that ultimate actually does catch 2 for once. Ammo's going to recall, bringing the Yi back with him in the fight. And Alawi trying desperately to catch out LeBlanc. Right now, Azir can't even land the punches. Nothing is going to bring down this Slippery Mage.
Yeah, fortunately for the red team, though, they did get through the first turret, and now they have the Azir turret up to try and keep them safe. It gives them a little bit of an area to work with here. Not much damage being dealt by this LeBlanc. Very tanky on this champion. Doomeric moving up.
Yeah, I mean, when you got the Face the Mountain, you have so much survivability, but you trade a lot of that damage and burst potential out for it. So it is a trade-off to be made, and the Zac engage is consistent as all heck right now. He brings out one person, he brings out 2, but 2 for 2 is the ultimate trade that is made. Right now, Companion is slicing and dicing on Shaco. He doesn't have damage, but he does have move speed. We'll see if he can make it happen right now. Oh, and he does. Eventually, Alawi brings it with the BF sword. Looks like it's actually Sunfire into an Essence Reaver Alawi. I haven't seen that build since the last Battle of the Atlantic back in 2014, when I'm a Cutie Pie, famous for his memeing and meme lords, was told, "Do it, no balls" by Kiwi Kid.
Yeah, I remember that moment like it was yesterday. You know, it's a classic moment in League history. Definitely something for the books. And, well, we may have one here as well, with the Tank LeBlanc actually getting a kill.
Yeah, that static shiv plus
7th
the
kill
sheen
even.
in specific, the sheen in specific, and it looks like that is going into what is possibly a Lichbane, probably a Lichbane even in fact. That's actually quite a bit of damage if LeBlanc can ever land a spell into an auto attack combo. Right now, though, Tank Shaco looks to be engaging possibly, and Master Yi is in his sights. Zach, with the mirrored engage on the other side of the map, forces Yi to go aggressive. There's no choice in the matter, no say whatsoever, and he goes down to the dagger. This is a very hectic fight, though, as Zach backing out the best he can. I don't even know if he's still got his bloblets up. He doesn't want to risk dying right now, because if he does, that could be the end of this turret. He wants to protect that second tier turret as long as he possibly can, but he will split right now. Shaco trying desperately to go on to the back line, but Alawi takes 2 as he is diving through the team, and this is not looking good. Blue team making a strong resurgence into this game.
Yeah, blue team doing a lot of work here to really pull this back all of a sudden. The Shiv Azir, super hard counter to the Zac. Every time he gets knocked into passive, just one single auto will actually kill all of the bloblets immediately. So really no hope there to ever revive from the side of the Zac.
Yeah, this 3v5 is taking its toll right now. We've got, you know, just complete and utter chaos. Turrets dropping left, right, and center. Yi engages companion to B. He's looking for someone to keep him company for an eternity, trying to make his lifelong friends stay with him in a little bit more serious of a manner, but I don't think they actually can do much to defend this turret. Blue team takes the first inhibitor of this game.
Yeah, and this is really looking rough for the red team. The Azir soldiers, they do exist, but well, sometimes you have to question it almost with the little amount of damage that he's doing. Unfortunately, the Alawi going in, Yi as well.
That's a lot of damage. Doesn't appear to have landed very well in terms of the long-term damage and actual push potential for this team. Like right now, we've got Master Yi, sure, but he doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. In fact, he's actually probably going to die right here, right now. One dagger to the back of his skull, and a second one. The flash isn't even enough to evade it. Both teams losing 2 members in that very chaotic fight. Azir, though, 200 HP. I don't think he has a chance of surviving against Shaco.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, the Orianna shield and the Summoner heal coming through, able to keep him alive for a little bit longer. But will it be short-lived? There's a Shaco finally finalizing that kill. Spoon it now.
Oh, here we see that frozen mallet. That is coming into a league of its own, just slowing the Orianna just long enough for the Zac jump to come through.
Yeah, and this could be, well, the next fight could very well be the final stand for the red team here. It's really not looking good for them overall. Still down a member. Just still getting pushed in, even though they have way more kills, and by virtue should be winning this game, but they just don't have the pushing power, unfortunately. The static shiv just does not work on towers very well.
No, it really does not. And as much as I'd love it to work on towers extremely well, I don't think that's a great balance decision from Riot. So it probably will stay as it is, but I gotta ask you, going into this game, we thought that Europe would have the advantage. They had all of the money, they had all the players. They are still down 10 kills. Yes, they've got the pushing potential, but if that last member comes back, do you think they still can win this game?
It's certainly a possibility. It would have been nice if Europe had even showed up in the first place, actually. All we got was the UK in the end.
I mean, we weren't supposed to tell the viewers that the UK is the only part of Europe that showed up, especially because they're not part of the EU anymore. So it's not
Oh,
really
that's a little
Europe.
bit problematic. I guess I'm out of the loop.
It's not the united part of Europe, so I guess we can't really call them representing Europe. They're a country geographically located in Europe, so I mean that counts, right? It's technically counts. The best
Sure,
kind of technically.
technically correct. Some
Sorry,
would say that's the best
correct.
kind of correct.
But Reese, he's got some tankiness to his name. The Sunfire being completed and Catalyst into a Roa, it looks like, is actually a very beneficial item. Shuffle does not land though, and that could be a world of pain. He actually dodges out of most of the damage. Oriana's ultimate catches one. Kha'Zix has rejoined the fight, and Reese is under fire. There are a bunch of people bouncing around the fight. Alawi will drop in her tracks. Azir is the second kill to be brought down, and this has turned from a fight into a complete rout. Spoon is trying desperately to stay alive. I think he will manage it, actually, with the help of the Azir turret, but Doomrick being back, that is the hope of NA.
Yeah, the Europe or NA or whoever, the red team may be able to pull through in the end with all of these fights going so well in their favor. The pushing
I
is still something very
associated
important.
us with NA because we gotta make NA great again with our memes.
I agree.
So that should be, clear enough. To most of the viewers, you know how quality these memes are usually, and you know how much usually we bring to the table in terms of sheer teamfight prowess, especially with his full tank Shaco bringing that Bork next. It's just unbelievable amounts of damage.
Yeah, the Azir is kind of getting to a point where it seems like he might be doing some damage shortly, but it's still just not enough at the moment. Soldier's still not really doing much. Though LeBlanc is actually doing a lot of work, diving in, trying to proc the ship, just not able to do it.
Yeah, this Shaco clone is actually drawing out quite a lot of fire. Right now, NA playing on very low health bars, but EU is in the danger zone, and that is a massive knockup. 3 members sent flying into the air. Zach creating a game of his own, and there's only 1 man left to defend. It's Spoon. 1 versus 4 under the turret. I don't even think he could do this. And this is that danger scenario we were talking about. If NA gets their last player back, what hope does EU really have?
Unfortunately, I think the only hope of EU at this point is G2, but G2, they didn't even show up. They went on vacation again. They're just nowhere to be found.
Vacation. I mean, ever since they went to Spain, they've just been taking siesta after siesta. I don't know how much longer I can take this, but it certainly seems like EU is in a little bit of a dire spot after a rout like that. What's this? Shaco underneath the turret. He's actually going to be tanking and blocking damage, baiting his own teammate to die. The passive procs, but that's not going to be enough. Surely Azir wants to finish it off, but that Zac regens so freaking quickly. He gets back together again just to get knocked down one more time.
Oh, a little
that's
bit of a
good
chase
chain.
here.
2 chains is in the house right now. He nowhere to run except straight into the waiting arms of LeBlanc. She's trying desperately to defend this inhibitor. I don't think it's actually the smartest call to bother defending it. 4 members are up there looking for kills. They're actually very, very hungry. If they can get another kill right here, this could be a Nexus turret going down. But LeBlanc playing it very smart. Slytherin doesn't get much out of that one, and they have to start backing off. The ult goes down. Spoon trying to catch somebody out, but he gets backstabbed just a little bit, and Doomrick, lurking on the edge of this fight, is a constant threat.
Really good looking fight here for the NA squad. They're able to take down 2 members chasing onto Spoon, but the Zac dies to the Ignite on the backside. 3 members chasing onto Spoon, and he's all alone in this situation. He will go down as well. All of the tanks on the blue team, or red team rather, pulling through in the end.
That tank hybrid Shaco build though, I mean, when you have Spirit Visage, when you've got the Frozen Mount, when you've got the Bork, there's just so much to get through, and there's not enough damage to do it on EU's team right now. They've got a Yi, but he's running Athene's with the Frozen Heart, and what looks like maybe even a second Frozen Heart, judging by that Glacial Shroud that he has picked up, but it's too little too late. Double Frozen Heart I don't think can save him at this point in the game. He's actually going to make it out alive. Alawi doing quite a bit of damage. Slytherin looking to catch out somebody, looking to slam down onto 2 people, in fact, and the tentacles are raining down onto NA. He is getting as many pulls as he wants. Everything is going exactly to plan. Right now, this could be the shuffle of the century, actually. He only catches 1, though, and I do think that was a little bit of a mistake. If you only get 1 person, make sure it isn't the Shaco, because Shaco's going to get out instantly. And there's the Zac re-engage. That's what we were talking about. This is the fight that they have wanted. This is the fight that they've been looking for. And Doomrick goes down even though they had everything, even though they had the fight planned and prospered. It's just not enough. Everybody's falling over. Alawi got killed on the backside of that fight. Viamo takes that one. And it's 4 for 1.
Yeah, these fights have really taken a very nasty turn for EU here. They're just not able to pull anything through in the end. Shaco even just able to face tank the turret for a few seconds, getting a lot of hits in here.
Sorry about that.
For a few seconds,
Killed
Shaco
the
actually
turret.
lives
Wow.
with the help of that face of the mountain shield. LeBlanc, the supreme support, has pulled through one more time in order to make that turret kill happen. But now there's no suicide. The enemy, like EU team, they're going to get all the gold from all 3 of these kills at this rate. That is a lot of damage. That is a dead Zac turned into gelatin right in the face of his own Shaco. We'll see if they can manage to pull something back to 2 members versus 3. They don't check the bush at all. This could be disastrous. This is them just running straight up the mid lane, trying desperately to push into this open inhibitor. Oh,
Yeah, they're trying to run it down mid strategy, but I don't know if it'll really work very well for them.
they've spotted
have-
1. They spotted 2 now.
Uh-oh.
The chase happens now. It's their chance to possibly turn this fight around. And I don't think it's actually going to be enough, though. We talked about, you know, being able to turn the fight. We talked about how much damage. A lot of that is the Zac re-engage. It's not the Magic Pen Kha'Zix. It's not the Shaco. The Shaco puts out the damage after the engages happen. So without that Zac, EU looking very strong in this fight, but now he comes into the fight. Now Spoon is in trouble because that bounce is landing straight onto his face. The damage is there as well. LeBlanc picking up 1. Azir Kha'Zix dueling it out in the backlines, but that doesn't matter. Yi is about to go down, and actually, Alawi trades 1 out too, so this is looking very, very good for EU all of a sudden.
Yeah, the Azir did live for a very, very long time, or the Kha'Zix rather did live for a very long time for NA, but it just was not enough to pull it through in the end. Now it's LeBlanc and Shaco. They're the only ones on the defense here. LeBlanc actually goes down. Shaco dives in, getting a lot of damage onto the Alawi. Trying to pick off the Azir, possibly, but there's too many targets to hit, and there's too much damage coming through. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. We'll be able to retreat successfully. The turret will
Drops, though.
scare
That's
Companion
just-
to be away.
It's just such a scary Azir. When he's got the static shift, when he's got the Roa, that's a lot of damage, and that's actually a lot of attack speed, more importantly. So when you've got that much attack speed, that much damage, you don't want to be dealing with it if you can avoid it. He's just such a good late game scaling carry, even without the traditional meta slave build that we see Boy building. It's just not enough right now.
How's it going?
And this might be a bit of a reversal here for North America. They might be able to take this all the way, but if EU is anything to go by, there hasn't been very much success with trying to actually end the game. That is the closest that they've ever gotten, and they still fail when it really matters most.
However, keep in mind, NA's inhibitor just came back up, so if they get a pick right here, if they pick off Alawi, if they pick off the crazy scaling Azir, then the game gets extremely interesting. Well, that's a very boosted jump. At least it seemed like it, and that's a massive Alawi ult. If they stand in that fight, NA is going to get completely and utterly wiped. It looks like that is the case, in fact, and there's just really no hope right now. EU completely cleaning house. 2 kills to their name in short order. Actually, as I say that, LeBlanc has not gone down. Finally, she will drop. Finally, she will stop where she stands. And Master Yi actually is going to be fighting with the Shaco. Shaco just trying to put on some damage, maybe even kill him before he can react. But that's a big,
Oh, the
big heal.
healing.
Yeah, this is something to be scared of. The big heals coming out. I mean,
Really intense fight here. This is very, very close, but now there's 2 Shacos all of a sudden.
Double
Will
the
he be able
Shaco,
to do
double
it?
the
Yeah.
counter, of course. And the minions have actually stalled out, so if EU runs out of minions, they have no way to get reserve minions because Shaco has stalled them all the way back at their own base. There's no way to tank this turret up, in fact. That's a very good kill. That's a very, very good thing for NA. When they pick up Alawi, she's one of the driving forces of this EU frontline, enabling the Azir to do so much damage throughout the courses of these fights. And he is now the only one left standing, and Shaco stands between him and safety.
Yeah, all of a sudden, again, another reversal. This is not looking good for EU. They might just fall here. We'll have to see if NA can actually pull it through in the end.
Exhaust, though. Oh, this is not the place you want to be if you're that Shaco, but Master Yi cannot finish the kill. EU, they looked like they were in trouble. They were in trouble. They managed to slip away with their lives, but NA, they're on the doorstep of breaking through. As I say that, though, Blaster Boy, he finishes off one more kill. The flash comes out as well, and he doesn't live through it. So his flash is now down. Keep that in mind for the next fight. This Kha'Zix won't have as much mobility. Granted, it's still Kha'Zix. There's still plenty of mobility to be dealt with, but Alawi's ultimate, it's just so strong right now, and it's taking out all the members of NA.
Yeah, really looking rough for NA once again. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, these fights, the Alawi is really delivering here. The Shaco's being chased down by the Yi. This might be all she wrote for NA. It does seem to be that way. Only half health on the turret, no minions for a very long time. However, this turret will take a very, very large amount of damage. A lot of hits. The Zac has respawned.
This could be very dangerous for EU. In fact, they give a kill over back to NA. 40-second death timer. That is not what you want to see on your main carry. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, Inhib is still up for EU. Both Nexus turrets are still up for EU. Both Nexus turrets are still relatively healthy for EU. And keep in mind, in ARAMs, Nexus turrets do not regen, so this will have to be the fight, and it'll have to be one in NA's favor if they want to even have a chance at pulling this game out. But right now, that looks like it is the case. Magic Pen Kha'Zix is chasing onto two members of the team. One person falls over. Yi going in for more, but it is not enough. Zac drops 1 for 4 overall in the fight.
Yeah, this may actually be it, but the Alawi has respawned. As long as NA properly respects the Alawi here, at least gets the inhibitor, that will be a very big boost to their pushing power. But then that'll merely equalize it with what EU has been able to pick up so far. The inhibitor does seem like it will fall here. Alawi is still very scary, though.
It doesn't seem like it's that bad when EU's, setting all of this up. They're looking for some kind of damage to put through, but that Ghost, combined with both of the Nexus turrets firing, is just immense amounts of damage countering somebody. You can't stand anywhere near them, or else you're just going to get your health bar completely whomped by it.
Yeah, something that we might be able to look forward to is the Muramana for the Zac is actually almost completed. This could be a pretty big power spike for him if he's allowed to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Muramana, especially on those autos, when it gets that last proc, when it gets that last bit of damage, is so powerful. Master Yi is in a load of danger, though, and Alawi lives through that fight. The slaps, the tentacles are enough to sustain her need to live, and she gets a double kill for her troubles. That was, every ultimate she throws just seems like it just works out in the end. So, Alawi goes down, finally. Master Yi and Azir to deal with, though. I don't think Shaco can do this. This is a lot of damage to respect, and this is a lot of people to try and counter. Just everything to do, everything to play for. And all he has is a clone and a dream.
One clone, one dream might be all it takes. Might be just about all of it, actually. Yeah, that looks like it'll be it. The Nexus will be falling. The inhibitor's respawning, but will it be in time? I don't think it will be. It will not.
Just
GG.
in time. EU, they win the first game of the series.
Yeah, definitely a good showing from them. Looked a little bit rough around the edges there in some situations, but man, they did pull through when it did really count.
Yeah, that Alawi, I mean, the sheer damage coming out from her ultimate every single time she dropped it. She's got, Bloodthirster, she's got the Essence Reaver, she's got all of the damage in the world at her disposal, and it's just ready. I mean, every time she threw the ult, there were 3 people, they stood in it, she got what she needed, and she closed out the game because of it.
Yeah, really strong showing from the Alawi, able to bust a lot of the tanks there. Actually got a legitimate build to some extent in the end as well, so very strong showing from that champion there. And EU as a whole, they did close it out when it did really matter, of course.
That is true. Now we will be taking a very short break while we can see if we can set up the rest of the show matches featuring, hopefully, our Overlord. But that remains to be seen. We'll be right back after this.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. In youth, you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. The time will come when you have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above, but don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. As the sun steps down and escapes the day, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again. Turns to gray, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again. We can climb high, higher than before, or we could stand by while it burns to the floor, though we cannot fly. We will build and the wounds will mend as we build it once again. Can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm, you'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. When they say you will fall, you can reach nothing at all. Hide your tracks beneath the rind of a different frame of mind. Is that what you heard? Broken words in the dirt, yelling up into the sun. Here we come, here we come. Here we come, here we come. Here we come, here we come. You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. It's that you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. It's that you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. And when the light comes through, when that day isn't you, then it will be time for a new frame of mind. When all eyes are on you, you will know what to do, since you will have found your new frame of mind. When you lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, but always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, we won't be alone.
We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay here till it's over. Till the world's out of sight, we will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. And they thought they could keep me down, hold their breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time
All right, guys, thank you very much for waiting. We are back one more time. My name is, of course, Zeta. Joining me is Blaster Boy. We're bringing you our first show match of this season, of the late summer season. You could call it preschool if you really wanted it to, because people are going to get schooled, and that is for sure. How are you doing on this fine day?
I am doing great, Zeta. I am really excited to get into this game. A lot has changed in the game just in general, as it does with every patch, but I mean, since the last show match that we've seen in the Learning Fives program, a lot has changed. A lot of champions have fallen in out of favor. I don't even think we had Elemental Dragons last time Learning Fives was active, so this should be very interesting. Plus, there's some rivalries here. A lot of memes in this match. Staff show match, of course. So let's talk over some of these bands. We've got Hecarim and Aurelia and Vladimir. We can bundle all of those together under one roof, I suppose, of top laners for the most part, at least. Vladimir can usually flex mid, but in general, all of them are very strong champions. Hecarim has been showing a lot of prowess in the jungle as well. Very, very strong. We just saw Inori in the last hour go 15-0 in an LCS game versus Envious on its jungle Hecarim. This is something that has been set up to succeed, plus it counters the Ashe and Jhin that we're starting to see in this current meta of ADCs.
Yeah, I also got to touch on just a little bit. Inori has been absolutely fantastic on carry junglers. I think we could see a resurgence of those for teams that might traditionally lack, strong solo lanes. People that aren't known to, beat Bjergsen, to beat the double lift lanes. When you have a carry jungler, you take a lot of the pressure off of your laners. So we will see if that comes out. But Kindred, a little bit of a throwback ban, maybe slightly targeted, because that's not something you usually see banned these days.
Yeah, definitely not. Kindred was a problem, I suppose, for a very long time, and so she was very slowly but surely edged out, and now she's been completely edged out of the meta, more in favor of some of the tankier junglers. Somebody like Rek'Sai has been having a lot of success again lately. Hecarim, of course, is a damage jungler for the most part, but he does tend to build Trinity Force and with a Cinder Hulk and full tank after that Trinity Force, so he is a much more tanky jungler. Shen is someone that we've seen have a bit of a resurgence in the meta. This is the first time that we've really seen him pop up post-rework in this current state. Oh, we might have a Rengar lock in here. Noxian Knights was talking about this a little bit earlier. Something I do want to touch on, since the team names might be a little bit misleading and you might be a little bit confused about the blue team, which is Team Jump. Jump has not made it to this match at the moment. We did replace him with Star temporarily. Hopefully he will be able to make it to his own match, but
He's
for now,
involved
we
in
have
a
a few
prior
people-
commitment. It's
Yes,
unavoidable. But what
unfortunately.
isn't unavoidable is this Rengar lock-in. And you touched on it briefly, but I want to expand a little bit. Rengar, we talked about Inori, we talked about carry junglers. That's one of the most potent picks if it gets snowballing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, speaking of Inori, this is something that he used to beat TSM last week in game number 2. He played pretty well, all things considered, on Rengar. He did make a few mistakes, but those can be forgiven with the end result, really, particularly with Orianna and Shen. I mean, that is a ball and ninja delivery system in the form of Rengar. He is going to be doing not only just a ton of damage on his own, but he's also going to have a very good comp to follow up on.
I would like to
all
see
of
the
his
karma,
engages.
but seeing as it's already picked for this ball delivery comp, you got the Stealth
Yeah.
Bomber. You could put that on Twitch. You can put it on Rengar. Morgana's not a bad pick to ensure that your payload gets there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Rengar runs by, gets a speed up from the Orianna ball on him, Shen ult comes down, Black Shield thrown on as well. Twitch is just there to mop up the mess afterwards with Orianna there to boot. It's going to be a very scary, fairly wombo combo heavy comp, even though they really only have 3 champions that excel at a large amount of AoE. On the opposite side, we have Gnar, we have Victor, we have Karma, and even Lucian, to an extent, that all excel fairly well. Particularly, I feel, the Gnar and Victor synergize very well. The Karma and Lucian and the Karma and Olaf also synergize very, very well. The Karma and Gnar synergize very well. There's a lot of different ways that this composition really clicks together, but I don't know if it's really coherent as an entire unit. That could be said the same for Team Silth on the red side, however, so we'll have to see which team is able to pull off their 2 or 3 pronged wombo combo all together and really dominate a particular set of fights, and that can lead them to a very easy victory.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on the fact that Victor and Karma synergize pretty well, but what we didn't actually mention is Victor brought Ghost. So
Yes.
Victor has Ghost, Olaf has Ghost, Karma has the team speed up, Lucian has Ghostblade generally, or some people are running, the more traditional sort of full crit Lucian. Even that one benefits a lot from being able to actually get in with what the range nerfs to the culling have been.
Yep.
And then Gnar, of course, to slam the team in. So that's, to me, a full AoE, engage team. Whereas on the other side, it's, can we land the pick? Do we have the Orianna ball? Do we have the preparation? And if they can get just a little bit of separation in Star's team right now, I mean, if they can just, find little cracks in the armor, little bits of the fight where somebody steps out and you get a 2-man ball, Rengar eliminates one, then 2 people get pulled in for some more AoE with the Twitch ult, that could be supremely devastating. So, keeping those in mind, lane by lane, who do you give the edge to in each of these matchups?
Lane by lane, I feel like I have to give it to Team Jump. Gnar is decently lane dominant. It might be kind of a standstill with the Shen. The Shen is also very lane dominant. That might be a little bit iffy. Victor definitely beats out Orianna early. Lucian and Karma definitely beat out Morgana Twitch early in terms of their damage. If both of these teams are playing to their optimal trades, well then I feel like the Lucian and Karma will have a much easier time at avoiding the optimal trade coming from the Twitch Morgana lane.
That should be pretty interesting, though. That bot lane matchup, I think, is the one that could swing the most.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because of the fact that Karma, she's got utility, she's got outplay potential, but Morgana straight up just says, no, you're not playing for the next 3 seconds, and Twitch can do whatever the heck he wants during that time. So, ganks aside, I mean, bot lane looks volatile, mid lane looks like a farm fest, as you touched on, and top lane's, the traditional Gnar versus a melee carry. But what else are they going to bring to the table? I mean, you can bring, some unorthodox builds, but for the most part, this seems like a pretty standard meta slave comp, as a boy would call it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll have to see how this does end up rolling out. One worrying thing is the lack of engage on the side of Team Silth. They basically are putting all of their eggs into the Rengar basket, and he has to be the one to set the engage off, and then after that, the rest of the comp will be able to follow up. That's not really the case on the opposite side. We'll have to see how that works out for them.
I think my microphone's back in action. It was a little bit weird right there, but... Okay, you can hear me. Perfect. So... yeah, I mean, intimidation factor, it's about to come in, so we get to see which team is bringing the hype at the forefront. The more money you pay Riot, the better you do in your game generally. So, keeping that in mind, remember, buy all the expensive skins, kids. It's going to help you in your MMR and your quest to climb to Diamond, or Silver, or Bronze 1, or Bronze 4. Wherever it might be. Skins help you get there.
Agreed. With that, guys, I think we will throw it over to a very quick break while we load into this game. We will be back in a moment with the first match in our staff show match. Well, it looks like it'll only be a few seconds, but let's throw it to music anyway. We'll be back.
Well, I mean, we have a pause, so we're not we're pretty ready, but it looks like the pause was just to allow people to load in, maybe get their last minute memes set up right here. I'm not sure why you would need to pause the instant the game started, but it doesn't really matter. It looks like 5-man invade versus a 5-man counter. Shen actually could be splitting the top side. No, he's going to stay bot, so this could be a very interesting level 1 start.
Yeah, absolutely. With these teams clashing, it'll be very interesting to see.
They spotted the
Okay,
ward.
yeah,
They know
they see
they've
the
been
ward.
seen.
They
You know,
know.
Silth, he's
This
sorry,
ward is going
Silth.
to be scary, though. If anybody separates, that's the opportunity for engage, or it'll just be the opportunity for disengage. It'll prevent any skill shots from landing. Except for that, Mantra'd Soul Flare is actually a decent chunk of damage onto Noxie Knights already, and a little bit of money in the pocket. 8 gold lead already to the blue team. This is a good start for them.
that 8 gold, man. I mean, that could be the difference between being 10k up and being 9,992 gold up. So we'll
This is true.
we'll see if it actually matters in the late game gold charts. But for now, all it means is that Rengar has to back, and everything pretty much resets. That very early ward and the good placement by Silth, standing there watching for that invade. Even though all 5 members were there and they could have like counter gang bushed almost, especially with the Rengar power and the Morgana snare length. It's the safe route. That's the one where you say, okay, well, we know where they are. We got the ward into their buff. We know where the Rengar's starting. We can back off, not dive too far, and nobody really loses much for it.
Yeah, those wards are actually very, very smart from Team Jump overall. They get a lot of information. They know where anyone's moving down that whole corridor from the base. They know if anyone is starting at Wolves, or if the top laner's down there or anything. They know exactly where Rengar is starting, and they know where he's not starting if he wasn't down there. So, yeah. I mean, sometimes what's weird is by virtue of just knowing where someone is not, particularly the jungler, you can make a pretty good guess at where they actually are. If they don't see the Rengar down there at any of those camps and any of those corridors, then they know that he started topside. They know that the bot lane has to be careful of ganks. Speaking of the bottom lane, though, we have an early level 2, 4-star Infecta's down in this bottom lane. They are pushing in very, very heavily, and it's giving them a little bit of an advantage now. But the farm is completely even at the moment, and Spoonit might even be able to pull a little bit ahead if he hits these very well.
Yeah, that is the trouble. When you're shoving in really hard, you got to give up, some of your last hits. You got to make sure that you're landing poke as well, and especially when you're Lucian Karma. You got to try and bully, because Twitch has the better scale. He's got the better AoE team damage generally in the late game. So the longer you give him to just sort of wail on your team, to wail on the minions, the worse off you're going to be, especially if you're just missing all of Lucian's early game damage. All of that tons of damage he brings. Got to use it.
Yeah, definitely. You need to make sure, take full advantage of the lane bully potential that you bring to the table. Like you said, Lucian Karma, very, very good at that. Similarly in the mid lane as well, Victor he pushes pretty similarly to Orianna. He doesn't really push much better than her, but damage-wise, I feel like he's much better off. He only has to cast a single spell. It is a little bit costly in mana, but it wave clears extremely well. He can just use it at the simultaneously to also harass. Plus, it just does a lot more damage. More bang for your buck for that single spell than Orianna's abilities are, at least early on. Noxie Knights looking for a gank top on the ammo. We'll have to see if they're able to get anything off here.
This could be, very, very much a time waste for Rengar, because he knows Gnar's got the jump. He knows that this Gnar is, almost sort of daring him to come up top, because he's shoving it in.
Dumeric
He's
is up here
pulling
too.
in onto the Reese, but this is where Shen is definitely out of his element when Olaf just comes charging straight at his face. All he can do is flash away the stun. The Gnar transformation, it's not enough to actually catch out Noxian Knights. Nobody goes down. Both of the summoners, though, gone from the side of Silth's team.
Yeah, pretty good gank there. Good counter gank from Dumeric in the end. Burning the flash on the Gnar is not great, but in the end it is 1 flash for 2. So that is still beneficial for Team Jump in the end. And the Ghost being burned from Dumeric, it will, put him on an even playing field
Actually, all
Nazi
movement
Knights.
sums have been burned in that top half of the map, so...
Yeah, all of the escape summoners have been burned, but the Ghost is on a much lower cooldown than Flash. You can see that now is almost, well, it's a little bit over the quarter of the way up, while Flash is only just getting there in the next 20 or so seconds. So that will be up much quicker. It'll be much more useful earlier. It'll actually be there to be used earlier.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have that Olaf, you really need mobility summoners like this. And
Yeah, definitely.
Flash being like 2/3 of the cooldown. I mean, over a third more of the cooldown of, you know, this Ghost. Olaf's just going to come back up to the top lane. Gnar has a movement ability. Shen has a movement ability. Rengar has no way to get out, though. So now the attention turns on to, okay, the Rengar can't get out. There's no chance. So Gnar can get out. Shen can get out. If Rengar goes in, though, Olaf's going to stick.
Yeah, absolutely. Chaining together Undertows is something that seems to be underestimated by quite a lot of people as well. Just throwing an Undertow, picking up the axe on the way, even just at level 1 Undertow, even at just level 1 champion level, you can get kills with it. And not having a way to get away from those and unsuccessfully dodging them can completely just cost you your life. So not having a flash on the Rengar, possibly matching up against that Olaf at some point in the near future, that could be a danger. It doesn't seem like either jungler is really aggressing here past those first ganks, however. Neither of them have shown from the jungle since then, really, except for Doomeric walking through mid on his way from top. But this might just be a sort of farm to 6 situation. And in that instance, I think that Noxian Knights really wins out with the Rengar. The Rengar has a much larger level 6 power spike for ganking potential, I feel, than the Olaf does.
And I'm sorry if I butchered this name. I'm pretty sure it's Fex. Yeah? Like
Fekes.
Fekes? Okay.
Yes.
He is putting some massive poke into
Yes,
Spoon
a
right now. I
lot.
mean, this Karma just has so much damage, so much poke potential. He shoved him off of turret super early. An extra wave gets burned. That's less CS for that Twitch. You know, he's almost 11 down at this point because of the zone, because of this early pressure. We talked about them not utilizing it. It looks like they're finally hitting their stride.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely taking advantage. The Lucian poke has been very good. A lot of the piercing lights have been, well, piercing through the wave onto either the Twitch or Morgana, or maybe even both in some instances. The Soulflars have been very good from Fekes so far. This lane is really shaping up, and they even have an item lead now coming back into this lane. We'll have to see if they're able to continue this movement upwards in their advantage in the lane. Doomeric stealing away the blue buff from Noxian Knights. No level 6 on the Rengar quite yet.
He does have
got it
Victor
off the
coming down to
ward. He
support
got
him,
it off
though.
the ward.
I'm not sure if he wants to take the fight, though. Smite, it lands from Noxian Knights, but so does the kill. First Blood goes over to Doomeric, and Silth can't do much. He has to stand there, watch this level 7 Victor just go to town on his jungler because he was not fast enough in the rotation.
Yeah, very unfortunate positioning there, and very good from Revalize to push in just so that he could actually pull that off without any possible response from Silth. Very smart, good movement over. This is a great start for the Victor to get a kill on to get even just an assist on Victor, which is what Revalize got here. That's a very good start, and that's even an Infernal Drake picked up on top of it. The AMO.
The AMO is in. Oh my god, that was
no.
the perfect taunt. It's just...
Yeah, that was...
The AMO is just good night. Shen to the rescue. He just says, thank you very much. Picks up a kill under his own turret. A lot of just, what is that, 3-4 turret shots almost?
Yeah, it's
Perfect
something
taunt
like
time.
that. It was absolute perfect taunt on to punish that a little bit of over-aggressiveness from the AMO. Strange decision there to walk up that far, but fantastic taunt from Salty Reese to pick that up. Spoon is extremely low.
Spoon
There's
is
the
dead,
culling.
actually. Talk about extremely low. Staracious does not care about those culling range nerfs. He's going to pick up a Twitch for himself. Second kill on the board for Stor's team. Wish there was a cleaner way to call these two teams. I mean, with
Yeah.
Jump not being here, it's hard to call it Jump's team.
It
For
is.
myself, at least. So, if you think of a good nickname, tweet us, drop it in Twitch chat. We'd love to hear some of the memes. So, Don't
Of
hesitate.
course, we don't spare any expense on the memes. With these staff show matches, we will have a bat coming through from Star here, and he will be picking up the Warhammer. Pretty much as expected, nothing too crazy this early on, even with a kill to his name and very good CS. Oh,
It's just not something
Revelize.
you want to be doing, but neither is standing in the mid lane. Shen TP is actually going to bring in another member. Doomrick has
the
to
stun.
ult, and the turn is there, though. Revitalize drops damage, but he drops as well. 1 for 1 so far in the
double
fight.
stun.
The Amo is trying his best to smack down the Shen, but I don't think there's going to be enough damage. Yes, there will.
Oh, Silth.
Doomrick, one more time, returns into the fight. Flashed
Oh.
by Silth to finish off another kill. And Fekes snares it up. There we go. Third kill of the fight. 3 for 2 for Stor's team.
That ended up being a little bit closer than expected. And Spoonit even coming up through the
He is
pink
spotted
ward,
out by
though.
the
Yeah.
pink ward, though. I mean, that's unlucky, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely a little bit unlucky there. Companion to be moving down into the bush, trying to pick up that pink ward for herself. Looks like she'll try. Fekes will put up quite the fight for it, however.
That pink's almost about to regen. There we go. One more auto is going to be needed to take it down.
Oh, man.
And it goes down. You know, half the HP for the pink ward. That's pretty good vision control, but he doesn't expect the second one to get placed.
Oh,
He's not even
man.
going to check it.
Heartbreak.
Oh, this could be heartbreaking.
Oh, no.
Check. He knows there's another pink there. He doesn't notice it.
Oh, no.
He didn't even look at the bush. They're pinging question marks. They don't know what's happening here. Oh no, heartbreaking. The Ward Wars. It's lost. The Cold War is over. The
Feels
Russians
bad,
have
man.
won.
Yeah, feels bad, man. Vision control down bottom. Oh, no. Companion might be a little bit caught. The snare will not come through. Oh, yes, it will.
come through. He broke that spell shield with the empowered Mantra Soul Fire. Now, if he had gotten that down, the snare wouldn't have even procced through it, but that's some fantastic thinking by Karma. Very quick on her feet.
Yeah, really, really good decision there from Fekes. Oh, Spoonit's a bit caught out here. Extremely caught out. Maybe even dead. No, the minions will block the culling, but only for so long.
That's a
man.
very aggressive flash. It does pay off, in fact. Staracious picks up his second kill of the lane just as soon as they know Morgana's backing. They go completely aggressive, and that's what you need to do on the Lucian lane. You just got to take every advantage you can find.
Yeah, and being in a position putting yourself in a position to be able to do that is great. Is really, really good for Staracious to continue growing that lead. It was only 1 kill before. Uh-oh, Noxian Knights on a pink ward here. Nothing.
He is in deep trouble right now. I mean, he's got the kill, actually. Traded
ow.
back out, but Silth is going to drop as well. There's no way you can get away from this Olaf. He is so incredibly fed. 5 kills to his name.
Man, the ball, that was weird. That was a very strange interaction. Silth just pulled the trigger on that shockwave so quickly. I think he buffered it, actually. When the command protector was flying to Noxian Knights, I think he buffered the shockwave because the ball should have popped back immediately when it reached its destination and realized that Noxian Knights was dead, but the shockwave still went off right in the correct spot.
Yeah.
Rather than sombreroing on Silth.
I think they added some quality of life Oriana buffs 5 patches ago. It was sometime within the last season or so they added some Oriana
Interesting.
buffs so that you can actually buffer the ultimate, get it to proc where you want it to.
That's really nice, actually. That's
Because there's
very
sometimes
powerful.
when it would just bug out just because of the ball mechanics. So
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly when that was, but it was kind of recent. And obviously we see the benefits here because even though the teammate's dead, even though you're not in range to let the Q flow down, you do get at least 1 kill traded back because if he didn't and he was that close, let's say the ball had just come straight back.
Yeah, that's how it
still
should have
free.
worked normally. Oh, Spoonit finds a Karma here, but I don't know if this is really what he wants. Snared up. So much damage.
That's a lot
Wow.
of damage, but there's just no chase. I mean,
That
the
was
CC
through
on
2
Twitch is
shields.
non-existent to say the least, so...
Yeah, that was through 2 shields. That was through a shield from Companion to Be and from Silth. That was a lot of damage on that Soul Flare. It's a very scary Karma. Taking a look at gold real quick. We have quite a bit of it. Oh,
That was
Okay.
almost
Lots
a
of
very
grouping
good
in mid.
fight. If Victor hadn't been caught, he would have been in perfect position to collapse along with Doomrick for that fight. Even though it was 3v4, I still feel like Stor's team was just looking for the fight, hungry for the undermanned engage.
Yeah, definitely. And now it's a 4v4. Now this is an even battle, but it's even tilted in their favor because the Victor really does excel here in these types of fights. He just outdamages Orianna so much at this phase in the game. The Lucian is ahead as well.
And the Olaf. I mean,
yeah, and the
it's
Olaf.
a 5
is
Olaf.
So,
like,
yeah, so far ahead.
Sorry, that was a terrible joke. But
I've heard worse. I've heard worse. Good vision control from Team Silth here. However, despite their disadvantage on the bottom side of the map, they're still controlling the important area. They still have a pink in the Dragon Pit. They have the Scuttler as well, and they have vision elsewhere in the river. Really, really, really good for them. If they can keep this up, their lead...
What isn't really good, though, is the fact that they're so split. I mean,
yeah,
right now,
they're very
Storacious and
split.
Coke just turn on the Jets and go straight on in for the engage. They actually
this is the engage that they want.
done exactly that, but Doomrick is falling very, very quickly. There's the Twitch damage that we talked about, but it is turned straight on back around. Revitalize to bring down one, Revitalize to bring down two. Storacious, he's got the triple kill in the bag, and that is such a quick turnaround. The AMO isn't there in time, but he is getting chunked by the dragon. Fight not over yet. Revitalize is taunted up, and the flash is not going to matter. Silth is going to go down, and the AMO will walk away. I had to actually breathe twice during that. That was a crazy long fight.
Ow.
Both of the top laners are still alive, but only one of them has TP up.
Yeah, that's the advantage of the Shen. If he really wants to, I mean, he could go back to base and heal, like very viably go back to base and heal right now, and then still TP in for the fight, still be relevant in the fight, which is something that the Nara is not allowed to do. Oh, this is really risky sending the AMO back, I feel. He's still fairly healthy.
And you know they're going to go for the dragon again. I mean,
he probably has Frozen Mallet, though. He does have Frozen Mallet. Oh, he's not going to be back in time, though. There's no way. He only has 2-1 boots.
There's just no way he's back in time, and he's just not even contesting it. He knows he doesn't have TP. He's waiting on an item, it looks like. Yeah, he was waiting on a little bit more gold. And the dragon's just going to go straight scot-free to Silth and Co. I mean,
that's an okay trade, though, because they somewhat get the fight that they wanted, more or less.
It was 4 for 4.
It was, yeah. It was very much even, and they already had an Infernal Drake anyway. If they had tried to go in for that, there was a risk that they lose even more. But now instead, basically they just take the fight, they go even. Yeah, they technically lose that one instance, but the map is still even. They're still up in gold. They still have a tower up. They're still up in kills.
I gotta say, though, the fact that Orianna is up on Victor bodes well for the team comp working. Like, for the Rengar engaged with the ball on top of him and just the straight wombo combo into a Twitch ult, that's still viable now because your Ori is still ahead. You know, she's still got damage. She still does, massive AoE in this fight. Feke is a little bit caught, though. Speaking of massive damage, he is taking all of it right now, and that is 2-3 ultimates to wipe out everybody in their place. In fact, they burned the Rengar ultimate as well, so 4 ults for 2 kills. Let's see if anything can be brought back Doomrick. He's got the damage. There's no way Silth is getting out of this one.
Oh, maybe Shen ult.
I say that, but Shen ult does come through. The taunt is ready. I don't think he wants to step into that gravity well, though, and he's actually going to dodge out the Victor Laser for now, shoving these two back off the turret for a little bit more time.
Yeah, a bit of a strange engage there at the very end, but for Team Silth, that is how this game needs to play out for them. If somebody overextends, punish them with a Morgana. If not, then the Rengar is the one going in with the ball. The Shen ult is there, and the Twitch is on the flank or just there to clean up the front line. Basically whoever he can hit. That was pretty much more or less a perfect engage for the red team. That's just an example of what we need to see for them to succeed in this game. This is not what we need to see for Team Silth to succeed, though. Salty Reed's a bit caught. Ooh, good shield.
Yeah, he's under turret, but Doomrick can take this up for days. They actually blow the ultimate, and in mid lane they secure another kill, so that's 2 members dead, and this first tier mid turret is under fire.
Yeah, across the map, Team Jump rather is really doing quite a lot of work. 5 kills up is really all it takes. Now they're up 3 turrets to 0. Rift Herald won't even be considered this game. Looking at just CS numbers, that's a major point of their gold lead. It's about 300 gold for the AMO before you consider anything else, just from the CS. It's 50 CS.
Actually, it's only about 70 gold separating the two top laners right now.
Yeah, because of their scores and everything. Just CS-wise, it should be about 300 gold up for him, so the kills for Salty Reese evening that up quite a lot. That's very, very good.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, it is pretty close, or it was pretty close, but now all of the assists coming through, a 50 CS lead for Revelize is equaling over 1,000 gold lead for him now. 1,200 gold all of a sudden off of that single kill, and then the turrets going down as well. So a lot of money, and then almost 2,000 for Star over Spoonet.
2,000 for Doomrick as well. I mean, both of these, 6-1-4, 5-2-1, these two carries are incredibly scary right now. They have so much potential to do damage. And the team overall, they're up 6,000 gold, and almost all of it is concentrated in people who can carry this game very, very well.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation, though, because if this game goes too late, then the Rengar Ori Twitch comp will just completely outscale. Oh, Fekes, he may have walked where he doesn't
Not
need
more
to.
than he can
Oh,
chew.
That's a good
and
snare.
it looks like that's the case.
Oh,
Wow, that was a
man.
fantastic TP in from Salty Reese, but Doomrick is going to re-engage on the fight. He's trying to chase down one. He's already got one kill. He's got a double kill to his name, and the ultimate runs out. He drops where he stands. Fekes has come back in for one more attempt. Double kill, though, goes over to Salty Reese.
Yeah, I mean, Team Silth, they're really grouping up here. They're trying to push their comp, and they're trying to get a lead back, which is very, very smart of them, but they're losing on the opposite side of the map in the meanwhile, and they're trading fairly even.
A disaster right now. The boomerangs are here, the damage is here, the hyper to finish him off, probably. I mean, one boomerang seals the deal. He doesn't even need to. He uses autos, the ammo, for his second solo kill, if I do recall.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the Frozen Mallet really does enable that. He's going to be able to go back now. 1,500 gold, absolutely 100% has a Black Cleaver completed now as well. This is a very good trend for the Amo up top. He's basically right where he wants to be now, and it's just going to get even better from here. Frozen Mallet Gnar is solo kill territory, and Black Cleaver Frozen Mallet Gnar will just be even better.
Yeah, I mean, Black Cleaver is just so good for chasing people. When you're already slowing them, it's insane. And you have high mobility on top of that. You got the jump, you got the boomerang slow. What are you going to do as a single melee tank?
There's really nothing that you can do. You just have to try to sit back, and basically the only thing you can do is just try really, really hard not to die. You're never going to be able to fight the Gnar and be able to escape, and if you get caught by the Gnar, then you may just die as well. You have to basically hide under your turret as a tank. And, I mean, we talked about it last time with Team Silth getting the free uncontested dragon, basically. There's another one for Team Jump as well. The Amo. Good binding to disengage. Oh, but Spoonet may have walked too far forward.
This could be the fight that they
man.
wanted, just to start off this dragon strong. Not even in dragon time, it's just for turrets at this point. And Fekes has just completely destroyed Morgana. That empowered binding, empowered Soulfire is just insanely strong. I mean, he took down one, they took down two. They lost the Amo in that exchange, though. So they don't have Gnar for a little bit. I'm not sure if that's going to be a big deal, but I think that's going to mean at least first tier top turret goes back over to Silth's team.
Yeah, it looks like it will be a trade for a tier 2 down bottom, however. Well, Team Silth might have something to say about that. Here comes the Rengar ball delivery system. Oh, he got out of the way.
So close.
He got out of range of the shockwave.
Just a bit too far.
Yeah.
And he drops. I mean, Doomrick, what can I say? At this point, he's got 9 kills. He's got a Trinity Force. He does tons of damage. He embodies
the
tons of damage mantra at this point. And if he gets any kind of karma speed up, he's going straight in for another kill.
This is almost perfectly the Hecarim build that I mentioned in Champ Select. Oh,
Oh, that's
my.
a very, very aggressive flash, but they make it work anyways. The culling comes over the wall, and Storatius finishes off yet another kill, his 6th, the team's 23rd of this game.
Oh man, Spoon It doing so much damage. Rebel Eyes not
It's
quite
close.
going
It's
to
no
fall.
cigar, though. I mean, Twitch.
Oh, Doomeric though.
He gets something for his
A little bit
troubles.
greedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was extremely greedy. I mean, he stayed under turret way, way, way too long, but this could be yet another case of Jump's team staying too long. I don't think it will be, though. They look like they will back off, and there's no words to spot them where they're backing, so Morgana can't just go over and throw Cheeky Binding over the wall or something unless she's psychic or close to it.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I have to say, I'm looking at Spoonit's build, and if you know Twitch from back in the day in Season 4, then this looks completely normal to you, most likely. But as of late, this is not a very typical Twitch build. Usually you'll see Runons first, which is what we did see, but it seems very rare now that you see Blade of the Rune King anymore. And I don't feel like it's going to be bad on Spoonit. I think it'll be very good, particularly for dealing with the Olaf and the Gnar, but it might be a little bit inefficient, I suppose. Ghostblade with early armor pen and just free attack speed off of that and all the flat AD that you get is probably better at the moment.
I would say just Ghostblade for the sheer mobility. You need to not get hit by that undertow, because if you do, you're pretty much donezo in the face of that, 9-kill Olaf at this point.
Yeah, Blade does not give you any movement speed, unfortunately. It only takes theirs, and you can't do that with Olaf. Oh man,
Anyway.
a 26-minute Baron. There's no vision around here at all for Team Silth. They're going to be trickling in one at a time.
The ward
They
should
don't have
come
a
over
ward.
the wall very, very
They don't
soon.
have a ward. Salty Reese doesn't have one. They know that it's happening, though.
They got
not able to do it.
Noxian Knights drops in the
Oh,
pit.
man,
The Amo
still-
goes over the wall, and that's another kill. 2 people have been picked up, and Doomeric is looking for a third. He is sprinting straight at Spoonit's back, and the undertows are flying left, right, and center. He catches him with one. Can he catch him with a second one? This could be Spoon going down. He actually turns it around, though. That Blade of the Ruined King, as soon as the ultimate fell off, he decided to channel it up and do the damage that he needed to. Revitalize picks up one more, but this Twitch could be going on a rampage very soon. Doesn't have the ult, actually, to
He
turn it around,
could.
so that's first inhibit.
Yeah, he could have done a lot there if he had the ultimate up, but he used it on Doomeric. I can't say that I fault him for going for whatever kills he can scrape together, but the potential just felt kind of wasted there by Spoonit with him using his ult so early. It's half off a cooldown, but it's not going to be relevant in any engage here for a very long time.
I think it could be relevant, actually. The Amo narrowly dodging out that
Wow,
taunt.
Salty
It
Reese
was
a bit
so
caught.
close to landing. Because if he had, Rengar was going in, you better believe Twitch was going in, and everybody was going to get a piece of that action.
Yeah, again, like that is the win condition for this team. The Rengar goes in first, followed by the Orianna, followed by the Shen, followed by the Twitch and Morgana. I mean, that is the order of operations that this team needs to follow to really pull off their endgame fantasy of wiping the entire team, but they didn't have their tools available to do that. They had 3 of them, but Morgana and Twitch ults both being down, particularly the Twitch ult, I feel, is very, very important. It's, man, not having that just completely can change your mind about taking the fight.
It changes your mind about re-engaging. It changes your mind about doing the team fight, because when you have Twitch ult and you've got Blade of the Ruined King Twitch, it does so much damage spread across so many people that you have to have it up for every team fight if you want to be able to win it.
Spoonit, I believe, is going Duskblade next. It could be a BT. I hope that it's a BT.
I actually think that Duskblade isn't too bad here, because if you kill somebody in 2 seconds anyway, then you're doing enough damage, and if you don't, as Twitch, generally they drop low enough that with an expunged Duskblade proc, you can probably finish most off. Even this Olaf, I mean, he's got 0 armor, just a chainmail to his name, that's not enough to stop most people.
Spoonit. Wow. Lost a quarter of his health just to that Mantra Soul Flare. That really hurts. This karma really, really hurts from Fekes. Even as a Zizra and Banner, man.
Actually, they changed the name from Soul Flare to Inner Flame, apparently.
Oh, Inner Flame.
I didn't know that. I thought it was called Soulfire because I've been playing way too much Warlock. Yeah.
Man, I was positive it was Soulflare. That's interesting. Wonder.
I thought it was Soulfire. So, well, we're both wrong, but now we know. I'm pretty sure that actually changed with the Karma rework back in season 3.
Man. Wow.
Season 3? Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has been that long.
What hasn't been that long is the time that's been since that turret went down. The Amo is flashing into a team. Shen Ultimate is trying to keep Silth alive, but it will not be enough to keep Spoon alive. The Twitch goes down. This fight is looking catastrophic for Silth and his team. They are dropping one by one by one. Monday Night picks up 2, though, in return. They could maybe get something. They actually didn't get the second one. The Amo lives by the skin of his teeth, and there's just one man left. It's Silth against the world. Silth v Nar, Silth v Fekes. It's just not enough. The Nexus turrets are dropping. The first game of this series is going to go in Jump & Co., not even featuring Jump.
Yeah, very decisive game from them. A lot of that snowball started in the bottom lane. From Star getting rolling early, in addition to Doomerik also getting very well rolling early. I mean, they just went on a complete tear through that game. That was extremely well played by the entire lineup of Team Jump. Got to hand it to them.
Yeah, it was a little back and forth at the beginning. It wasn't, all smooth sailing, but it ended well in the end. So, well played to Team Jump, well played to Team Silth, trying to hold on there for as long as possible. But remember, this is a best of 3. They could be coming back at any point. So, 2 more games to go. We'll see if Storacious and Co., possibly featuring Jump at a later date, can close this out 2-0, or if Silth and his friends can make a comeback, tie it up 1-1. We'll be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 between Team Jump and Team Silth. This is the Learning 5 Staff Show Match. This is the first show match of the July session. I am your color caster, Blaster Boy, and I'm joined by Zeta, who will be getting in momentarily. We got some bans coming through. We see Carmen Olaf taken off the table for the side of Team Silth, with Aurelian Heckroom remaining in the ban slot for the
All right, can you hear
Team
me?
Jump. Yes, there you are. Oh, yes, there you are.
Perfect. All right, guys, welcome back. It's still Learning Fives. I'm still Zeta. This is still Blaster Boy. We're bringing you game number 2, featuring a very special guest.
Yes, Jump has finally been able to make it from his prior engagement. Hype in the chat.
PogChamp in chat.
Yes, PogChamp. That is it. That is the proper Twitch spam. We will likely be seeing a first pick coming through, and we have another Shen for Salty Reese. Can't really blame them. I don't think the Shen was really the issue last time. Shen is very good, I think, in general, but particularly last game did a lot of good for the team overall, even though they didn't pull out the victory.
Yeah, it looks like Doomrick is actually going to be the one picking up a Rengar this time. It was not super effective for Noxian Knights, but they did have a very tough comp to try and engage onto, with that Olaf just steamrolling over all of their carries.
Yeah, definitely. And we have... Oh, man. Well, switching between the Rengar and Graves Hover here from Doomrick Bot. We'll have to see if he locks either of those in. I don't feel like we'll see a Rengar swap sides. Yeah, we will just see the Graves instead because of the Olaf being taken off the table for Doomrick. And the Amo actually going to be picking up the Maokai for himself here. Maokai is a very interesting champion. He fell out of favor for a very long time. Well, he was very good for a very long time. Up until recently, he was considered fairly bad and not in the meta. He got buffed. Then he was in the meta again, dominating like tier 1, the top laner pick. Now he's been nerfed a little bit again, and now he's fallen a bit out of favor. I don't think that he's particularly bad. They definitely didn't gut him this time. But I think he's in a more healthy state, and there's just better things there. But if you're comfortable in the Maokai...
I actually question the ban phase a bit, because I think,
Okay.
honestly, with, how it went last game, I mean, the Amo, he had... Did they actually swap top laners?
No, the Amo was top lane last time. He played Gnar.
Okay, I'm just making sure they didn't swap teams, because, as I recall, the Gnar, was he on the winning side? I thought
Yes.
Shen was.
No, Shen was on
Okay,
the losing
just making
side.
sure, because I would have honestly thought about a Shen ban, personally. I think Shen offers, fantastically good map play. That's an Alawi lock-in.
Yes.
What looks like mid lane.
It is. Oh.
All right, then.
Interesting. That's a special one. That is for certain.
That's
We'll
something.
see. It could be 80 carry too.
That could fix their late game teamfight problems, especially now that they've got 2 tanks and Alawi and a Lee Sin to kick people back into the Alawi.
Yeah, I could.
Does your W count as jump
No.
for
it does
Talia?
not.
No, does not.
No, it does not. I don't believe so. I'm actually not entirely sure, to be honest. I feel like it wouldn't, but I don't really know. It looks like we do have a bit of a role swap on the side of Team Jump. We have Jump himself playing... Oh,
Mid lane.
actually, yeah, he swapped to... He came in, took over the mid lane from Revelize,
Revitalize, who swapped
Yes.
down to 80 carry for
Yep.
Staracious.
Yeah, so, I mean, Revelize is a very good player, so it's hard to argue with him playing in... I believe that 80 carry is actually his main role. I might be wrong about that entirely, but I think that he's at least a mid/ADC player in one way or another, so definitely not a bad thing. Yeah, Silth pulling out the Alawi mid. I have never seen Alawi mid. I will be completely honest. I hope, for Silth's sake, that he does not pull a blue build Ashe here like he did last session, and he doesn't just play something that completely flops that he'll never play again. We will see, though.
Yeah, we will see, because, I mean, this is a very interesting departure from the last couple team comps, because in the game where it was a little bit random, we had slightly different players as well. But then when we got to Summoner's Rift, it was a very, very hard engage team on both sides. I mean, one team had only one form of engage, the other team was all engage all the time, all ghosting at the face.
Yep.
But now it's actually a little more nuanced. There's tanks, there's people who want to take extended team fights as opposed to just engaging whenever it's pleasurable. And honestly, I think Jump's team is lacking a little bit in the frontline department.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree. This is a similar issue to what we saw with Team Silth last time, where they really only had the Shen as a tank. Their jungler was, oh boy, who was their jungler? Rengar, of course, yeah. Not really delivering in the tank department. Their support was Morgana, not really delivering tank either. On the side of Silth this time, we have 3 full tanks, and a Lee Sin that can even build tanky if he really, really wants to. It's really just a matter of preference, honestly. We'll have to see which way Noxie Knights end up going on this Lee Sin. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this Alawi mid works out. I've never seen an Alawi mid.
I've honestly, I've played both. I mean, I've played the Alawi mid. I've played the unconventional mids as a whole, but more importantly, Alawi mid does not do well into mages. It does not do well into anything that does poke. Azir's both. So
Yeah, plus
take it as what you will, but I foresee that lane going extremely one-sided unless there's some kind of miraculous lane swap where Ezreal comes mid and Alawi goes bot lane. And even then, he'll get poked out by Kate Sona.
Even
harder.
then, he'll just get completely poked out by Kate Sona. What's really worrying about the Alawi is that if she can get a hard engage off onto someone, particularly somebody squishy like a mage or an ADC or support, she can kill them. But the problem is CC. There's quite a lot of CC. There is a Graves with a slow. There's Maokai with a snare, a knockup, and a slow, a small knockup, of course. Azir with a slow and a knockback, Caitlyn with an escape and a big slow and a snare, Sona with a snare and a stun. There's just so much to throw at this Alawi, but we will find out how that all works out on the Rift, if it all does come together for Team Jump, and can they close this out with a clean 2-0. This is Learning Fives. My name is Blaster Boy, once again here with Zeta. We will be right back when we load onto the Rift.
All right, we have loaded onto the Rift finally for game number 2. This is the one where it's make or break. Jump & Co. versus Silth and Friends. If Jump and his band of merry men can manage this second game, it'll be a 2-0 sweep. But if Silth and his mid Alawi pull off the miracle, this will go to a third and final game on Summoner's Rift as well. I mean, you know, we could have thrown a little wrench in the works, done Twisted Tree Line because it's the third game in the series, you know, but we're going to go a little bit more traditional with this one. And some decent poke already. They know that they're invading. This was actually the same early invade spacing that they had last game, except Silth was the one standing in the front bush instead of a ward. But both times the invade has gone off. Both times it has been ignored for the most part. So not super successful right now in the invade category.
Yeah, very similar wards to last time as well. 1 on the camp, 2 on the corridors just to spot around and see where people are. Overall, just very solid wards. Nothing too special. They don't really gain anything from it in the end because they spot with the invade on its own. Just they spot where the duo lane is. They know that there's no lane swap silliness going on. But the wards are good to have just in case that is a threat, and you never know when that could happen. Lanes are kicking off, however, nothing out of the ordinary here. The junglers are both starting on bot side, so there will be no Gromp or Krug takes for either of these lanes. Silth did claim in the Slack just a moment ago that he mains mid Alawi, so
we'll see if that's the case. I mean,
yeah, I have faith.
Faith is one thing, but we'll see if he can deliver on that faith, because as every CLG fan knows, unfounded faith is a really bad thing.
Yes, faith can be a very disappointing thing sometimes. We'll have to see if...
Sometimes?
We'll have to see if Silth has the potential of CLG or the potential of some better team with potential.
No. The actualization of TSM versus the potential of CLG.
There we go.
Because, guys, CLG beat TSM 2 finals in a row, right?
Yeah, now they're 6th, 5th.
Are they 6th?
Something like that. 5th or 6th. They're pretty low down there.
P1 is actually pushing for playoffs. If you guys didn't watch the P1 series, they were in a hard-fought battle with Envy and had tied it up 1-1. And that's the last I'll say of it because I didn't watch any more of it. So, very interesting.
Ooh,
Revitalize gets caught by a massive hook there, but Companion to be is poked out just as well. Sona, every time you think you get the upper edge in that lane, she just pokes and heals back to where it seems like you didn't do anything. Yeah,
I mean, she's kind of similar to a Nami. Or I guess Nami is more similar to Sona since they came out in that order. Then somebody like a Soraka. Sona is, I feel, more in the direction of Soraka a little bit. Her damage is there, similarly to a Nami, but her sustain is there kind of like a Soraka, where you can take a bad trade or a bit of poke or something, and Sona will have you topped off in no time.
I actually think Nami does much the same. And
yeah, Nami does heal for quite a lot.
I like your comparison to Nami, because Nami was pretty big in the solo queue meta of 4 patches ago or so, and she, somewhat dominated, somewhat, just kind of let it fly. Doomrick actually getting very aggressive on this Lee Sin. This could be massive if he actually manages to land the kill. He does get some damage, but the flash is burned, and Lee Sin wants no part of that, but flash burn for free, that's pretty good.
Would have liked to see a ward hop there, but I mean, when you're in a situation like that, it's hard. It may be hard to think entirely straight and figure out exactly what you should be doing to be the most efficient.
Jump is in a world of trouble. That is a W. That's a flash and a first blood for this mid Alawi. He claims that he mained it. He's showing us some pain that he can put out. Feke's a little bit in a tight spot. He actually managed to get out of that one. Still about half HP though. And you gotta respect Nautilus at all points in this lane. He just does so much damage.
Yeah, to touch on that mid lane fight a little bit, that kill was 100% secured by Deathfire Touch. Silth takes Deathfire Touch on Alawi. That is normal and very, very strong. It is extremely strong on Alawi because every single Q that you throw will deal a lot of damage on its own.
60% of your bonus AD.
Yeah, plus you build quite a bit of AD on Alawi anyway, sort of just on the side of your tankiness. Deathfire will scale a lot when you're buying a decent amount of flat AD. That's just very, very strong. Jump is not in a great position right now. He needs to try to pull it together a bit, try to make sure that he doesn't take a ton of free damage from Silth and is also dealing some to him. Yeah, that is not a good start. That's a lot of damage from just a single Q, but Feke's caught bottom.
Yeah, he is surely going to go down. He actually burns flash and heal off of the Caitlyn just to stay alive. Exhaust still is a factor, but for now it looks like the Ezreal poke will serve to keep him at bay and keep him low, try and make sure that he has to burn all the mana in the world just to stay there. But we were touching on, Azir and what he could possibly do right now. He was actually up about 10 CS before this last wave crashed into the Alawi, so if he gets just damage, if he just starts pulling, if he just starts throwing the soldiers around like he is right now, dropping that Alawi low without giving her a chance to throw tentacles in return, that's what you gotta do. As long as the tentacles don't hit, or only hit once in a blue moon, you'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. One of the rough things about Alawi, though, is that if you get hit, not only do you take damage, but she also heals herself. And the heal is based off of her missing health. Oh, but Silth might be getting ganked here. He is level 6, however. This might be what he wants.
I think that is definitely what he wants. That's a 2-man ultimate on that Graves.
Oh, man.
It's just no contest whatsoever. Talking about immense amounts of damage. Alawi turns up again and again. Jump. If only he had that last Q, if he hadn't used it that early, had one more Q, another auto attack, then that would have been dead Alawi in the mid lane. But as it stands right now, he's got 2 kills to his name and no worries.
Yeah, really none at all. That, again, just to comment even more on Alawi, that is something that she excels in. When you throw even just one person at her, when you throw her more targets, that is where she excels. She's almost, it feels like in a lot of situations, ungankable. Because if you don't do enough damage to burst her down, she will kill everyone.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that she heals up either. I mean, yes, she's going to heal up like 50%. If you bring Ignite, though, you can have a chance. Like, let's say you're Akali, let's say you're LeBlanc. Then Alawi is scared. Then Alawi mid lane has to go, okay, they have way more reach than I do, way more burst. I've got to be freaking terrified. But Spoon is flashing out of danger right now, and he is going to get the heck out of dodge. Companion as well. They both got to leave. I mean, that was a very, very aggressive play and it did not pan out.
The ammo going in onto Salty Reese a little bit very low, however. I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh.
That was
Feke's
really
dodged
close.
out that last hook. I mean, if that hook landed, that was a very dead Sona. There's no ultimate. Exhaust is up, sure, but you're only going to save yourself for like another half a second before the damage finishes you off, because whichever one you don't exhaust is going to finish you.
Yeah, definitely. And the damage from the Nautilus definitely has to be respected. Doomeric is down bottom again. Oh, Fekes gets deleted.
Yeah, that's the damage that we were talking about. The
will
ultimate
it matter,
combo.
though? I don't
and
think it
Spoon
will.
is
Noxie
being
Knights.
a little bit too aggressive. I think that is going to be way more than enough. And Revitalize and Doomeric both managed to make their way on out of there. Reese misses the taunt. The flash is down by Nautilus. And Companion to be has finished off one more kill. Silth picks up yet another one. He said he mained mid Alawi. I'm starting to believe this guy.
Yeah, definitely. And he's even building Death's Dance as well. We talked about the healing of Alawi before. Buy a Death's Dance. It just makes it even stronger. It makes you take a little bit of damage over time. The damage that you take with Death's Dance, by the way, is converted 12% of it to damage over time over a few seconds. And then you also have a ton of healing from it with all the lifesteal. Now has a Vamp Scepter as well. This is absolutely massive for Silth. The thing about Alawi, the thing about this Alawi in particular, though, is that he is constantly taking these fights, but they're fairly close, so he's not at the point. Oh, Revitalize.
It's just a kick and
yeah,
done.
Very solid gank.
That's all she wrote. Noxie Knights, very well executed. Didn't even have to burn. Actually, he did burn Flash to reposition. I was going to say he didn't even have to burn Flash, but
yeah, Flash RQ just to make sure that the angle is absolutely perfect on that.
I would have honestly saved it. I think that you're well and safe enough away. You know that Caitlyn didn't have Flash. You know that she didn't have mana. So it's not that big of a deal, but it is what it is. That means that Flash will not be available to, say, gank this Alawi, because if you really want to ruin Alawi's day, you get her away from her ulted tentacles, because that's the only reason she's actually going to kill you. And Reese, though, could be in a little bit of trouble. He's actually going to taunt, see if he can get on out of there.
Uh-oh, Fekes.
Fekes is under turret, though, and he pops ultimate onto 2 Spoon it. It will drop where he stands, though. That is a lot of turret damage, and Fekes trades 1 for 1.
Yeah, really, really nice ult. Unfortunate turret aggro juggling from Spoon it there. He ends up picking it up. Oh, man. Jump is just having
worst day of his life.
Terrible time in the mid lane. That Tentacle does so much damage. They spawn so often now, too. A few patches ago, might have to hold that thought. Is Doomeric actually going to be going top? Oh, Jump is
nice. He really wants this kill. He's got the Q. He bounces off the wall, though, and the flash actually has to come out from Silth just to secure the kill. He almost goes down to turret. 2 more turret shots actually would have finished him off, but Graves is nowhere to be seen. Doomeric was trying to make a play top lane, and it did not materialize.
Yeah, very unfortunate there, but to go back to what I was saying about Alawi, her vessel was changed. It no longer lasts an entire minute. Instead, now it lasts 15 seconds, but the tentacles will spawn every, I believe, 8 or so. So it's much more frequent tentacle spawning, but the buff is way, way, way shorter than it used to be. So killing tentacles is not nearly as viable. Yeah. Oh, Salty Reese going onto the ammo. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a wet noodle fight up here. There's
I mean, the
nobody's doing any
Maokai
damage.
is so
to anyone.
good at sustaining. He has so much, wave clear, so much pushing power. There's not much Shen can do besides just kind of, buy the Sunfire, take your time,
Yeah,
and hopefully
especially
get something out of it later.
especially because Shen, in order to engage like that, has to burn 2 or 3 spells usually, and his Q is on a fairly short cooldown, so he might be spamming that pretty frequently. That's just going to give you a bunch of free passive stacks on the Maokai. You're just going to be able to heal so much so quickly. We see Doomeric down on the Gromp. He seems to be motioning down towards this bottom lane, but there is no vision control. There is some vision for the red team, but they don't know where the blue team has warded. And Doomeric, he might just dash into this warded bush.
I think he's actually just going to try and go for it. Yeah, there's the
Ooh,
flash.
okay.
There's the ultimate Sona with a big crescendo. Shen starting to TP in, and they
Oh,
turn it
no.
around. Revitalize is in a world of trouble, but the Shen TP was actually halted by the Amo, and now it is all going to crap. They are trying their best just to wind up this fight, get more than 1 kill, but they get at least 1 for all that trouble, and that's probably worth a turret in terms
Silth
of
is roaming down. He's pinging on my way. He has his ultimate available. No flash. Exhaust is up, though.
I don't think he can get the grab.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
most
think
going to
so.
slow him just enough so that
he got it.
can get it anyway. Wow, that's a little bit risky by Fekes. I guess it's not that risky. Turmeric. Oh, he has no
Oh,
no
man.
idea how close he came to getting a free kill there. Just, why do you sit in that bush? You got to go back. You can't just, wait around for the blue buff, but it pays off for him. And
Oh, man. Jump might take a lot of
he
damage
got
here.
hooked again, and he got hit by another Q. This is just complete and utter chaos. If he doesn't dodge
Slow.
one more Q, he's done so. And there we go. Silth with another kill. 5-0 on this mid lane Alawi. Azir, certainly not the pick you want to be playing into it.
Yeah, really, really doesn't feel like it. As this game drags on, though, one of the things about Alawi that I've really noticed a lot from playing her, and I don't know if Silth will have the same issue or not if he has a lot of experience on her, and he definitely looks like he does, but she tends to just get completely wrecked in fights if you play them improperly, just from CC, just from not being able to close the gap, just almost exclusively from slows. She can get just completely wrecked in fights.
Or the other team just not choosing to fight. I mean, if
Yeah,
you ult,
that as
even if
well.
you get 5 men down, the most you can kill is one person with that W targeted 5 slap before they all walk away. Like, if the team
Yeah,
walks
generally.
away and you're useless, and your team follows, and you're still useless, then that's where Alawi is weakest, because
Yeah.
then she becomes just so incredibly out of position. Reese, though, talking about out of position, he doesn't care. The noodles are going to slap for a little bit
Doomeric
while
is
the
waiting
damage
for a
tricks,
very long
and that's a
time.
flash and another taunt to actually get away. Fekes is under fire, though, and Noxian Knights really
Oh.
wants the kill first spoon,
Aw.
though. He secures it with the Arcane Barrage.
Actually, a Knight's flash forward to try to get the kick off. Just as the shoot shot barrage came through. Oh, nice juke from jump, but it may not be enough. Spoon it is here.
Yeah,
Ready
that's a
to
lot of
ruin his
damage
day.
right now. I mean, he's going to get poked out under turret for sure if he stays anywhere near it. One more tentacle slap will probably do him justice. So it's interesting to see him sticking this close. We do know that Lee Sin still has Dragon Rage available. We know that he's hungry for a kill. We know that he's building mostly damage too and has those speed boots. So if they stay around the turret for too long without like a Sona Crescendo to disengage and, turn the fight around or something of the sort, they still have, Zero ultimate, they've got Soldier Wall, they've got Caitlyn ult, but they need to keep Alawi off their faces at all costs.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the Azir, as I was saying before, how she gets just completely wrecked by slows. Once the Azir, if Jump can get to his Rylai's, then that's when the Alawi starts hurting a lot. The only issue now is he's down 0-4, down 5 kills in total, and nearly 30 CS. Or almost, yeah, just a little bit under 30 CS. He's going to be so far behind on that Rylai's that by the time he gets it, it might not even matter. That is a necessary power spike. He absolutely needs it. Oh, man!
Yeah, Silth is just bringing the pain. 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, all wrapped up in a matter of seconds, and this just looks like the Alawi show. Silth took matters into his own hands. He's like, all right, we're bringing out the big guns. I'm playing my main.
All right.
And he wasn't kidding.
Prediction. Alawi will not be seen again this series. Only on the ban list. Next game, 99.9% sure that Alawi will be banned. It's pretty much a guarantee at this point. Silth is on a rampage right now. To have the confidence to know your limits enough and know your champion power to flash into 3 people that are 2 steps away from their turret and then kill all of them. It's something that, one, only somebody very experienced with their champion can do, but only something that Alawi, I feel, can really do often.
Yeah, it's just,
man.
He's got a lot of experience on the champion, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely shown.
Half of this power is simply from the fact that when you're playing Azir, when you're playing these, stereotypical mage mid laners, how often do you play against Alawi?
Never. I have never, ever seen this matchup.
Because I've played against it maybe 3 times. Like 3 times ever in the last 6,000 games of League or some shit that I've played. So if that's the case, right, and you're seeing this matchup and it's one tricks, you just got to say, okay, next game he's going to pull out the Alawi. Should we just ban it? Because once you reveal that you're a one trick, once you reveal that that champion is the only thing you can hard carry on, I say the instant you ban it, then you just have free lane or you force somebody to transition back.
Right. Yeah, that's a really smart thing to do. That's what a lot of teams will do in Challenger Series, for example. When a decent team shows up in Challenger Series and they're matching up against a new team with new players that might be a Riven one trick or something in solo queue, they'll just ban the champion or they'll just pick things that are automatically good against it.
Oh, that's a big ultimate though. They're actually turning it around. Silth, he has ult available. He knows that he can turn the fight. But the question is, will they let him? Right now, it is so close to being turned around. The Amo is waiting on his teleport. They actually catch Noxian Knights out, and he is almost dead. The trap doesn't do enough damage for right now, though. And the health bars are so low. We're talking 1 Q from Alawi to finish off a whole lot of them.
Yeah, this is really, really tense. Oh no, all the skill shots are missing. Just go for it. Pull the trigger, Noxian Knights.
I don't think he had enough range, no matter what he wanted to do.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, you've got the Dragon Rage. Yeah, you have Flash, but no, you actually don't have Flash. And right now, the Amo is coming in from the back line. There is no way that they can turn this around, though, because Alawi is just doing the damage. They finally walk out of the ultimate, though. Maybe they have a chance. Health bars are dropping lower and lower and lower. Silth picks up one, the depth charge to finish off a second. Yes! Spoon it. Picks it up on the last one.
Barrage is up. Shot Barrage. Not going to hit anyone, though. A little bit of a bad angle.
Yeah, Graves almost walked back into it. Doomrick, life flashed before his eyes, but Jumpman was actually pretty safe in the overall health thing.
Yeah, smart positioning there from the red team. All drifted off to the left side, but oh man, this game, just looking at it by the numbers, this is just such a one-sided game. It's 16-2. Just that on its own should give you an indication, but hey, let's throw even more on it. It's 3 towers to 0. It's a 8,000 gold lead already at 20 minutes. That is a huge
16-2.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it's at this point
metric.
You got to say, okay, so the one trick pretty much demolished our chances in the mid lane. Is there something we could have done to counter? Because personally, I love bringing just straight counter picks to the mid lane. Like I've got Pantheon, I've got Yorick, I've got Hecarim mid actually is fantastic into some of these melee carries like Zed and like Pantheon, just because you literally run at them and then they dump their load and you shove them back into their turret anyway.
I think that Team Jump could have done a better job of countering the Alawi.
It's just hard to know where it's going to go, really.
Yeah, it is.
You see Alawi, you don't go, oh, that's mid.
And unfortunately, with the order of their draft, it wasn't an impossibility because they drafted their jungler so early. But they needed. Oh man. Well, hold that thought for a moment. Jump may just be dead again. He's vesselized at the
Actually,
very
that
least.
vessel got completely Zanya. Silth is trying
it still went through.
his best, but it's just not enough damage. Oh, that is enough damage. The flash had to come out. He was not watching the tentacle spawn, and he has to walk out of this one before it gets to him, because otherwise he'd be a very dead Emperor.
Yeah, the vessel actually did still come through. None of the further damage from the clone did on the last few hits, but the vessel passive still applied in the end. So with spawning tentacles, they were scaring Jump quite a lot and forcing the flash.
Reese, he's looking for the taunt. He actually does land it onto Doomrick. Flash has been blown. The Amo trying his best to tank up for the team. He manages it for now, but it's just a matter of time with siege like this. Caitlyn has got to get in on the action. She's got to try to shove this wave backwards. And now the health bars are looking a little bit more equal. In fact, even worse on the side of Silth and friends. Maybe this fight could be turned around if only the Alawi doesn't get the massive ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, just give Sona a few more seconds and just about everyone will be topped off very nicely. To go back to countering Alawi real quickly, though, I feel like having a better jungler to deal with Alawi would have helped them a lot. Having somebody that can just go mid easily, somebody like a Rek'Sai or an Elise that can gank early and brings hard CC to the mid lane to gank the Alawi would have been fantastic. Unfortunately, Graves just doesn't offer that. Oh, Jump is set, like 5 health. 20 health after a good few seconds of regen. Very, very nearly died. Talk about life flashing before your eyes. Man.
Yeah, it's just every time Alawi pulls somebody, it looks like it's just waiting for death almost. The glowing is a sign of imminent tentacle doom about to spawn on your face, and the Amo almost proves that true. He walks out though, gets that little bit of extra dodge, but Silth is ready for another one.
Yeah, I mean, Silth is just on a rampage right now. 8-0-1. Hasn't even really come all that close to dying in a lot of situations. He didn't even take the blue buff for himself, too. Oh, man. This is the Silth that, well, we kind of experienced firsthand in the pregame. The pregame bit when he built Ultimate Bravery and still carried on Alawi. This should have seen this coming.
I'm actually very, very surprised that he managed to get Alawi, considering that he said he mains it now. I have a feeling maybe a little bit of rerolling was involved, but we won't actually discuss that until until we really have to. That was so much damage. I thought he was actually out of the second tentacle slap, but apparently it doesn't even matter. Alawi bends the rules of physics and League of Legends at the same time.
She just does so much damage. It's very, very dangerous for you to go anywhere near her. Vekis is up top. He's trying to get a flank.
That was
but he wished the
lot of
ult.
ultimate and speed to burn just to see it crumble before your eyes. The Amo is going to be under fire now, and he is getting chased back to his turret. The taunt lands. They're trying their best to actually finish him off, and I think he might actually live. The ultimate has to be burned.
Oh, man.
And Spoon with the final kill. Reese tanking the turret for him, managing to get that one back, and 2 kills for 0 on a very greedy play.
Yeah, Vekis, unfortunately, with the Chouster there, just a little bit off on that ult. Very close, a little bit to the right or left would have hit him a target, but yeah, it just wasn't there, unfortunately, in the end. That is a top turret falling in the favor of Team Silth now, and Silth has just been solo holding mid versus like 3 people. This is just ridiculous. Jump is low again. Already, when we last left the mid lane, just before that fight topped, Jump was limping away back to base, and now right back in that same position one more time.
Yeah, this siege, though, I mean, they've got Azir, they've got Graves, they've got Caitlyn. Maybe they can withstand it. Maybe they can actually, you know, sustain and clear just long enough for this to happen, but I'm not sure.
Oh man, Silth is so on point with Test of Spirit, and that's a kill. Yep.
It's just, every time he needs a pull, every time there's damage, every time there's CC, you can expect this Alawi to be there, capitalizing and just completely running roughshod over most of this team.
Yeah, I swear Alawi is a melee champion, but her poking is ridiculous if you can hit those tests of spirits repeatedly. Salty Reed's a little bit out of position, the wrong side of the wall, but I mean, nothing really comes from it. It takes a shot or two from the Graves, but that doesn't mean anything. Silth just, oh man, if he had pulled Feke's there, that would have been a lot of health lost. And there's just nothing you can really do when Alawi does this much damage and you get pulled to Test of Spirit. You're not going to be able to do anything, because if you walk out of range and you get vesselized, if you stay in range, then you take a ton of damage.
I think you have to walk out of range every single time though, because
yeah, you almost
do. Yes, you get vesseled, but then you can at least have a chance to dodge the damage.
Yeah.
If you get vesseled and you stay there, watch this, because I mean, Alawi's just going to start slapping things. Actually, that's a really big crescendo.
Man.
If they can manage to find something, Jump goes over the wall, he goes back over the wall. Ultimates are being used, and Spoon picks up the first kill of the fight. The AMO is trying his best to finish this one off, but Spoon stays alive for the longest that I've ever seen him actually live in these fights. Most of the time, he's gone down a little bit earlier than this, but
Silth is still alive.
Silth is here. Silth is looking hungry, and Silth is trying to get that pull. He actually lands it on the Alawi. This could be the damage and the Dunzo that we were looking for. They've just got it all. They've actually, maybe not, blocked in the last second.
That was so close. So close. Feke's is really hungry for it, but I mean, that fight is just bad for his health. Just not a good thing to chase onto. Nothing that you can do as a Sona in this situation, really, except for just go for good old Shin fights and just try to keep people topped off. And in a situation like that, you can't be the one to make a call like that, unfortunately. And man, that would look like a really, really good fight. And Dumerk even has an Executioner's Calling to deal with Silth.
That might be enough, actually. I mean, you consider
it might be, but
it's 23-3. And they still haven't cracked open an inhibitor. We're talking 8 minutes of uninterrupted access to inhibitor turrets and inhibitors as a result. Not a single inhibitor turret has dropped yet.
Yeah, that's one of the weaknesses of this composition, though. Look at...
There's just no siege.
Yeah, look at go down the list of champions. Shen is melee. Lee Sin, Alawi, Nautilus, all of them are melee. Ezreal is ranged, technically, but he's not that high of range. He's no Caitlyn. He doesn't melt turrets anyway. They need to be able to win a fight and then go for the siege. That's the only way that they can really get pushes done now.
Oh, Feke's is extremely dead. Yeah, that was an instant slap. Wow. I'm really surprised how fast that tentacle actually popped up to slap him, because that seemed like it was a little bit of a bug almost with how quickly it, popped up. But Silth is just looking for kills right now. He's just walking straight on in. Another one goes down. The AMO trying valiantly to defend the turret, not actually going to manage it, and this should be a time when it goes down. Spoon shoved back over the wall by Jump, and he lives. The headshot from that pilt over Peacemaker. Actually, what's the ult called anyway? Ace in the hole, right? Yes. Champ's only been out for 4 seasons. Give me some time.
Dumeric might be dead here.
Dumeric might also be dead. This is just a very, very chaotic time. And Noxian Knights go in, and he finishes that off as well.
The Lee Sin plays. That was really smartly played by Noxian Knights in the end. That was very good. But, okay, now go down the list of champions. Look at their KDAs. 3 deaths in the game for Team Silth, and all of them are Spoonit. No one else has died. There is not another person on this team that you can look at and consider, they could probably die here. Well, that too, but you can't viably... This is showing the tankiness of everyone, except for this Ezreal, really. You can't really look at any target and say, yeah, if we catch them, they will die. Because they don't have a history of dying yet. You don't really know how many resources it takes to actually kill them. You've never been able to do it before. And this is what I was kind of talking about before with the Azir. With the Rylai's will be a big spike for him, but it's 30 minutes, and he's still not even at 2 items. Even if he didn't go for the Hourglass, he still wouldn't have Rylai's and Nashor's completed at this point. He's currently sitting at well, just finishing the Nashers at 30-50. And that is an incredibly late time in the game to pick something like that up. The CS is not doing him any favors for getting closer to those items more quickly either.
I mean, you just take a look at the gold differentials. The
Yeah.
only person on the team who's actually got a gold lead is Doomrick. He has like less than 300 gold over Noxian Knights, and that could actually change if he gets any more kills or assists. And the biggest gap is actually 5k in the mid lane. So 5,000 gold. That's nearly 2 completed items. And Doomrick is in a little bit of trouble. Actually, Reese now the one in trouble. He was so close to going down. Doomrick has to run away. If he gets hooked, he's surely going to drop to this Alawi damage, and it is
There's the slow.
incredible amounts. One more slap from the tentacles. It does not land, but that one is also dodged as well. Spoon it, slays Revitalize. I didn't actually see what happened, but I'm assuming it was some Ezreal EQ shenanigans.
Yeah, just a straight up duel. Q into the E, into auto Q. Just nothing you can do when you get hit by the Ezreal Q right now with the amount of damage that they're doing, obviously, but also the frozen, the Iceborne Gauntlet, just doing a ton of work. Oh, Feke slowed up again. We'll get away from the tentacles for now, though.
This is just absolutely destructive. I mean, we're talking 14,000 gold, 32 minutes in, and Ezreal going completely ham. This is game as she had wrote. The fat lady is singing the chorus for a third game. Silth and co, they're looking for the Nexus turrets. They're looking for the Nexus even. This should be all theirs. This should be theirs for the taking. It doesn't matter that 5 members are up. It doesn't matter that Alawi is going to be tanking the turret damage if she goes in. They should be able to handle it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, double Executioner's calling, but unfortunately it might just be a bit too late. They are fairly expensive. I mean, they do cost 800 gold. That's a weird commitment to make to actually be able to pick those up, and yeah, I just don't think it was possible really any earlier. So they're just walking up and tanking 4 people. Oh,
that's an ultimate.
And
that
Leap
is...
of Faith.
Oh,
he
wow.
dies.
Went down. I mean, Executioner's calling. Not nearly as much healing as he's been expecting in the rest of the game. And with Silth down, we could see a play being looked for right now, because this would be the time to do it, if any at all. That is a 3-man shuffle into the Zanya. Spoon is the one under fire. He's actually going to shred through the rest of Jump's health, and Revitalize is going to bring down Nautilus. They could actually manage to make this happen. Double kill for Spoon.
That's crazy.
Means that Revitalize gets another one. Triple kill for him. He's looking for the quadra kill. Reese is the last man standing. He's trying to finish off anybody that can. He's just getting kited around, though. And that's the quadra kill. We're talking massive amounts of gold back for Jump and friends.
Yeah, now that puts Revitalize within 2,000 gold of Spoon. That's still a very large deficit, but that is way better for him now. Now able to take the Executioner's Calling, turn that into a Mortal Reminder, and then even pick up a Vamp Scepter alongside that. So now he has a very good amount of lifesteal. Now he has consistent tank melting potential combined with the benefits of the Executioner's Calling that he had just a moment ago. Revitalize has to be your target now. 110% in these next fights. Because if not, he is in the position to deal with now 4 of your members very effectively.
It's just, at this point in the game, if they can manage to stall out, if they can manage to farm it up and bring even this game back, it would be a miracle. It's just, there's so many obstacles to overcome. We're talking, there's still 11,000 gold deficit after that much that was brought back, after 3 members living through the entire fight. We're talking 11,000 gold. And now Jump is just in a world of trouble. He's got the ult. The flash is actually over the wall, and Jump falls
from a quarter
down
health.
Dead. This is what they wanted. This is really what they needed. Just the Alawi going ham on the backline. Nobody's contesting her. Nobody's grouping up to stop. And the minions are chomping at the bit, trying to bring this base down. Baron doesn't even look like it's needed now.
Spoon it. Don't do it. You don't need the Baron. Not at all. The minions here. We're going to hop up. The Doomeric. Yeah, that's Jump's turret. Falls to the minions. The other turrets will be soon to follow. The mid inhib will be falling as well. The few waves, just a few short waves, there will be double supers here. Nothing to really even worry about.
Silth looking for the ult, looking for the damage, and they have plenty of it. Spoon is the one receiving kills now. He's got 14 to his name, and this looks like it is the death throes of this game. The final fight around the Nexus. Companion is actually tagged up quite heavily, and
Jump has good soldiers here.
To shove them off the turret. He manages it.
Jump has great soldiers.
This is all kinds of good for it.
Oh boy.
It's so chaotic though. I mean,
they can't finalize anything. Jump might even go a little bit too far. Yeah, he's all alone.
Oh my god. That's,
no.
It just looks like overextension after overextension. They had it. They had the damage. They had the shove. And they didn't finish it off.
And the supers have been on the Nexus this whole time. Well, for a good amount of time at the end there. Didn't really do all that much damage in the end. However, will not be ending the game anytime soon just by supers. But it is certainly not out of the question for a pull away from the base from Team Silth down to the Elder Dragon, over to the Baron. Neither of those are really out of the question for resulting in a loss.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's small mistakes, small missteps right now from Silth and co, but it's 37 minutes in. They've been knocking at the doors of the base for 17 minutes now, almost the same amount of time that they had played beforehand. They've been trying to seize this base up, and the game still isn't over. Maybe Elder Dragon can give them a little bit of that edge they need to finish this game off, to shove through, get the Nexus down, get any inhibs that might be remaining, and just play around Silth. I mean, he's got so much damage. He's enabling all of this focus to be drawn to him. If they just play around Silth and let Spoon just deal from the backline, they should have a pretty good shot at winning.
Yeah, at this point, I almost feel as though all Team Silth really needs to do is they just need to kind of pull it together a little bit. They just need to take a step back, think about, okay, what were we doing to win 5 minutes ago, and then just do that again. They're going to melt this Baron, guaranteed. There's no way that anyone can contest here. Fekes is here. An okay ult, only onto 1 or 2 people though. Yeah, Baron secured.
Land the pull and the smash on
Fekes might even be dead.
There's just one tentacle will take him down. Reese is trying to zone off 3 members. Noxian Knights actually go straight onto a trap over the wall when he jumps. But it's a Baroned up.
Revelize is doing so much damage.
Yeah, no, Caitlyn in general I think is the most broken AD carry that has existed since basically Season 2. Because you look at it and someone steps on a trap and that's half their health.
Yeah, and the best part about that is for Revelize is whenever somebody steps on a trap, there's so many people around everyone. The Runons also did a ton of damage too, and he was hitting 3 people per shot. Oh, here's a fight.
Looks for the fight. I don't think he has damage. He actually gets shredded down. That kind of heal reduction is so insane right now, and Salty Reese is the one to try and take down both.
Noxian Knights is on the Nexus.
Noxian Knights, I don't think he can pull off this X-Becky. I don't even think that Spoon can live. And this is the turnaround that we were talking about. The damage, the closeout, it needed to happen earlier than this, because right now you're falling over. Your base is not dead yet, and this could be catastrophic if this keeps happening.
I mean, the way that it's trending, it seems like it will. Every single time that they do this, they make it a little bit harder on themselves, because every single time that they die, everyone gets a little bit stronger. Yeah, they're not pushing back they're not pushing back, and the gold lead is shrinking very slowly, but it's still only 9,000 gold now. It's 40 minutes. You're getting up to the point where you have almost 80, 90k gold. 9,000 is not going to be the end of the world, really, across the team. And, okay, something curious. Double Phantom Dancer on Doomeric.
So double Phantom Dancer.
I've never seen Double Phantom Dancer.
So
all right.
The last time I saw Double Phantom Dancer was also the last time I bought Double Phantom Dancer. So back in Season 2, when you could actually solo carry games on 80 carries. Generally, you would
Yes.
forfeit your
Yep.
boots for second
Yep.
Phantom Dancer.
I do
because
remember
it
that.
gave you
Yep.
additional move speed, enough to compensate for the fact that you didn't have boots anymore and get you more damage because you built, double BT, double Phantom, and Knight. And
I remember
sometimes,
that, actually. I did that all the time.
sometimes, whatever other items you like to build, because you can generally fit in a Last Whisper there too.
Yep. Never
Usually
forget
they'll
triple
pick.
BTZ.
Triple
Good
BTZ
times.
was a thing. Triple BT Graves was also a thing.
Yep.
That was good times. Actually,
times.
quadruple BT and Last Whisper and Boots Draven. That was fun. But
Oh, hold that
this is
history
not
lesson.
fun. Jump's getting caught out of place.
Oh,
He has
no.
to Zanya's up, and he is surely going to die. Silth picks him apart with that last slam into the ground, and now it's a 4v5 with everything on the line. Silth and friends are trying
that was a good
desperately
ult.
to finish this game off. A good ult from Sona to try and lock down as many members
Revelize
as
is
possible.
still
Reese
surviving. He's kiting.
is zoning away, but he's getting shredded as well. 2 members with no health left on the side of Silth and friends. They are just getting run over right now. Jump doesn't even have to be alive, and Revitalize is doing enough damage for the team.
The problem for for Team Silth right now is that they're just run you over sort of composition or strategy that they were running, rather, it just doesn't work anymore. You're going to get kited by someone now. There's going to be
Absolutely.
someone there to slow you down, or
Sona
someone there to
move
speed someone up.
Caitlyn E's, Graves E. There's movement ability after movement ability,
Man.
and you got to be wary of every single one of them, because if you overcommit, if you miss your abilities, if you miss your spells, they start kiting you, you're not getting away.
I think Revelize is even going for a Frozen Mallet. He has the Jarm's Fist.
It's possible. It'd
That
be a
only builds
really
in.
good item.
Jarm's Fist only builds into a few items.
It builds into Sterix,
Sterix, yep.
Titanic, and Frozen Mallet.
Yeah.
So
I think that's extremely I think Frowlet is extremely likely here, because again, going down the list, there's 4 melee champions here.
yeah, if you're
man,
able to
Revelize
fight them,
lost
if you're
half
able
of
to
his
live more,
health.
not to mention, it's a lot of bit of health, so
Yeah.
that's gonna help you survive some. This is the 3rd inhibitor though. This is the last one standing for Jump and friends. Maybe they can make the last
Rylai's
stand
is
here.
picked up for
Doomrick
Jump
is
now.
taunted up. Reese
Oh,
doesn't
no.
get enough out
Oh,
of it.
no,
And there's
Spoon
the
to cut.
crescendo to turn the game on its head. There's ultimates flying everywhere. Silth is
Silth
not able
can't
to
make it
finish
over the
anybody
wall.
off, and he's getting kited from left to right. The double kill has come out for Doomrick,
Is
and
this
looks
it?
very, very good for Jump and his squad. They are chasing onto the last remaining members of Silth's Merry Men, and Spoon
Oh.
actually jumps back in for a kill. That's extremely greedy, but looks like it's going to pay off. Shen makes it in. He actually makes it back out as well. But that's still 1 for 3.
Highlights from that fight. Spoon mispositioned. He E'd forward, ended up getting caught by the crescendo along with 2 tanks. Horrible. Jump was in the perfect spot, back with Revelize behind the tank line. Got a fantastic ult off that knocked Silth back at least 2 or 3 times, and most vitally prevented him from ever completing his W, which prevented his ult from ever being relevant, which just stopped his damage in its entirety. This, in spite of the 0-16 Azir, and that is a horrible looking score. Jump is doing work. Finally, he has his Rylai's. This is the point where you position properly, you position your soldiers and ult properly, you will do work, and that is exactly what we saw in that fight there. Team Silth, they're splitting up improperly. Spoon is mispositioning, going way too aggressive, and maybe even more importantly, Team Jump is just playing all these fights very well. They're immediately pressuring on the split teams, and when there's a full fight, they make sure that they are sitting back as far as possible. They waited for that fight to start. They waited for Revelize to go all the way back to Fountain and walk back out because he got Vessel just before. He was at half health. If that hadn't happened, that fight could have happened even earlier. They may have even been able to save the inhibitor.
It's
Step
just,
back
at this
again.
point, I mean, yes, 3 inhibs are down, but you've lost every single fight in the last 10 minutes. You can't close this game out. You don't have enough siege to do it. You don't have enough split to do it. You don't
yeah.
have good enough team fight to do it. You don't have enough mobility to get into the backline. So the only chance you have to win is to pressure with 3 waves of Baroned up super minions and pray that that's enough.
They can't even do that because there's double or triple Zizzarat always sitting around the Nexus from Jump's team, along with his turret as well. This could be the fight to end it all, but it's another pair of catches.
Yeah, this is exactly what
Silth is
we
caught.
were talking about. Silth is in the wrong spot. They cannot even do damage to this Maokai at this point in the game. And Reese goes way too far, and he flashes out as well. And this is what we wanted to see. Noxian Knights doing damage, trying to catch someone out. Durik is alive. He's full HP. He's still kiting. He's still killing waves. And Silth can't do much of anything anymore. There's just not enough ways for him to engage onto this Caitlyn. And that's
by accident.
the
That
catch
might be big.
of the century.
no.
Silth ults as well, and he's still dying in his place. Companion to be is the
so
next
many
one to fall.
traps, too.
He flashes away for just a little bit, and Tomb is nowhere to be seen. There's just not enough damage, but the inhibs are starting to respawn, and this just keeps looking better and better for Jumps.
Rebel Eyes just really, really, really needs to keep it together. He needs to make sure that he's staying calm in these fights because he is the kingpin of these fights, at least for the next 5 or 10 minutes, I think. Even with so much money being thrown onto other members. It's so crazy to think that it is 11 turrets to 2, and it could still end with
Keep in mind,
Jump winning.
So they're up 3 dragons. All 3 dragons.
Yep.
They've gotten 2 barons.
Yep.
They have 9 turrets up. They're up another 21 kills. And there's only 4,000 gold separating the 2 teams.
Yeah, when this falls at this point, this is like reaching critical mass now. When this falls, it's going to fall hard, and this might be a big fight. VMO is completely caught.
VMO is a little bit caught out. He's actually
he has,
nowhere near his entire
No, he doesn't have GA. That's terrible. Jump is caught as well. Rebel Eyes is still completely safe. It doesn't matter.
It's just so strange. Like, at that point, like, you know your Maokai, you know you have to ult. Your team's got to be collapsing. Like, you know Alawi has been backed. Otherwise, she'd already be on your Maokai. She'd already be slapping your face up. You got to go in for the 5v4.
Yeah, you really do have to try to go in for that. The Baron has started, but this is the first one that Team Jump can actually contest. They have no inhibitors down. I keep saying this, but the Baron could decide this game. If this is taken by Team Jump, their defending will be so much better, and they might, if they take the fight afterwards, that will almost certainly end it.
I mean, the thing is, as Doomrick, I actually would not even bother sacrificing myself to take this Baron. Like,
no, it's not worth at all.
Because otherwise, you're just risking way too much. You're so important on the team at this point in the game. You need to stay alive. You need to not die. Jump is not that person. Jump has 17 deaths. He can die. It's been proven. They've won 4v5s before. They're going to have to do it again.
Oh, no, Rebel Eyes might be in the wrong spot.
That's a big flash and a big crit.
Oh,
There's no time even. Oh, Noxian Knights wanted the ultimate. He wanted the flash. He didn't get to do either. The instant he came in, he started the war jump and got dropped where he stood. Silth is the one under fire. Silth is the one actually getting poked down completely. Revitalize has so much damage in store for him that I don't know if he'll even be able to finish off this ghost. And it does no damage to the ammo.
20 seconds on the Sazir. Again, not even that pivotal according to how these past fights have gone. Jump has been the first to die in many fights, and even the only one to die in a lot of fights, and it's just been completely fine. Silth is going in, but he's getting kited.
They're trying to kite Spoon it away.
5 seconds on Jump.
The tentacles are actually everywhere, though. Doomrick might go down for once in these fights. Spoon, a crucial member of the team, has dropped as well.
They're rushing the Nexus.
This is the base race of a century, but this is actually it. And it's finally closed out. Game number 2 goes back over to Silth and Co. after a 50-minute nail-biter siege.
Wow. I don't even know where to start with that game. I don't think there's anything we can talk about. I think the only there's a lot that we could talk about, but I don't think there's any one thing that really we could just pick out on its own and decisively say that decided the game one way or another. It was on a knife's edge for the last 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I think all we can really say is I cannot wait for Game 3. Oh, man.
Actually, you might want to check chat real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because it appears Jump has gone to sleep.
Uh-oh.
So, we did get our 3 games. They were a little bit strange. But,
Okay, first game didn't count because Jump wasn't there.
I'm not really sure what went on there.
Oh, man. Well, it looks like we might be calling it for the night. It seems that some of the players have decided to retire for the night.
Sorry, guys. We're having a little bit of a technical chat with our manager real quick. So we'll see in just a short moment what the deal is. But it looks like, actually, because it's 1 a.m., we don't want to keep you lovely people any longer than this 4-hour stream as it's already been. We're going to bow out semi-gracefully now. It's been a pleasure casting for tonight. Remember, Learning Fives is going to be hosting show matches. It should be every Friday. Am I correct?
Yes. Every Friday at either 8 or 9 p.m.
And Brian has gone off somewhere.
Oh, I am here. Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot I was muted on your end. Every Friday,
Fives.
8 or 9 p.m.
8
Eastern.
or 9 p.m. depending on people's schedules. So
Yes.
look for our Twitter. You can follow us at Learning Fives. You can check out Summoner School where we post semi-regularly. You can follow Blaster Boy. I'm pretty sure you have a Twitter. That's at Blaster Boy.
At
You
Blaster
can follow
Boy
me.
Lol.
I'm at Zeta Beta. You can follow any of our other assorted memers on the Learning Fives channel. It should be all followed from them, or you can drop more dank memes in the chat. But remember, dank memes aside, bring your A game for the first show match of the official season, because as soon as those teams take the Rift, I want to see the newest, the freshest, the dankest memes for my meme stash.
Yeah, absolutely. And something else to point out before we do call it off for the night is please do check out the program info post that was posted for this show match today. There was all of our social media was linked there, including a brand spanking new YouTube channel, fresh off the presses. We will have educational content there. We will have full VODs of all of these games if you really want to see us struggle through this again. We will have highlights of these games uploaded within the next few days, and I will be personally taking some time to go through and do a teamfight breakdown style episode covering some of the team fights from these games. So please do keep an eye out for that. I hope you did all enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching again. My name is Blaster Boy, and I was joined by Zeta. Thank you so much for casting, Zeta. This is exhausting.
I mean, I had
a blast.
I had coffees, I had beers. It was a long cast, but
oh man.
Thank you for joining us for the ride. Anyone who has stuck around this long, and anyone who joined us in the cast, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in future Fridays, or possibly Saturdays, depending on the timings, but with more Learning Fives.
Keep an eye on program info for that. Twitter and Facebook will be updated. If you are simply a viewer, the Twitter, at least for sure, will be updated with when the show matches will be taking place. So please do keep an eye on that. Thank you for watching. That is going to be all from us tonight. And I hope you did all enjoy. Thanks for hanging out.